Italy, where today's present will be tomorrow's history. This, a match where every moment will be immediately enshrined in England footballing folklore. Each incident replayed, analysed and dissected for years to come. This, the last chance to draw breath before one of the most significant chapters in the Three Lions story is written. Page by devastating or glorious page. There really can be no middle ground. It's the culmination of a tournament like no other, with its pan-continental travel played out to a COVID backdrop. And now the final act, one that 3 and 4 of us have never experienced. England centre stage at the last game of a major tournament. That balance of pragmatism and panache has been skillfully acquired, honed in a group stage that saw the good, the not bad and the sometimes ugly, before progression brought the watershed moment, with any lingering public doubt disappearing at the moment of Raheem Sterling's close-range finish against Germany. And 10 days later, here we are, delighted, excited, united. But Italy represent formidable opposition, unbeaten in 3 years and 33 games, a national record. Far cry from the side that failed to qualify for the last World Cup. They too boast defensive stability, complemented by a free-flowing approach instilled by Roberto Mancini that has reaped dividends, the tallest of the hurdles for England to climb in pursuit of Gareth Southgate's Euro 2020 vision. It will be Italy that will get us underway. In their Azzurri shirts with black shorts, they're kicking from left to right. England in all white, defending the old tunnel end of the ground. And before kick-off, England players take the knee, reiterating the message to applause that there is no room for racism. That's a victory in itself. 55 countries set out on this journey back in 2019. 55 years of hurt would end in a stroke if England came out on top of the pile. Beat Italy in their biggest match in 2 generations, and footballing immortality is theirs. So let history unfold. The Euro 2020 final is underway. Good strong header by Stones, applauded by the crowd. And the ball has gone out of play for a throw that will be taken on the England right-hand side. And will be taken by Kieran Trippier. Delighted to say that alongside me, Jim Bradford, 2 men who played 32 matches in major tournaments for England. I know that this matters just as much to them as it does to you. We'll hear from Sol Campbell as the game goes on. And firstly, let's hear from Stuart Pearce. Good evening, Stuart.
Evening, Jim. Really looking forward to this one. What a sensational occasion it is for our country, and I think we're in for an absolute treat tonight.
Early mistake by Harry Maguire, who has looked to try and eye up a back pass for Jordan Pickford. Ciro Immobile was in there cutting it out, and he shanked it wide and out of play for an early corner, which will be taken on the Italian right. And perhaps the first sign of some nerves. Insigne and Verratti both stand over it. Insigne with the option of knocking it short for Verratti or delivering. Mason Mount stands 10 yards away, hoping to just keep an eye on Verratti. The ball is swept in, and it's easily volleyed away from inside that penalty area by Maguire himself, which will do him the world of good. A much better second touch of the game than his first. Now Luke Shaw on the left-hand touchline, taking it forward, finding the deeper lying, retreating Harry Kane in space, and the option of the ball out towards the right-hand side is Kieran Trippier. Sterling darting around inside the penalty edge, fired in for Shaw. Oh, my word! 1 minute, 55 seconds, and it's Luke Shaw that has given England the lead. You can't write this. A left back who has never scored for his country and has hardly ever scored for his club. And he has just conjured up one of the great moments, a sweet sweep of the left foot that could end up meaning so much to so many. Italy 0, England 1.
Shaw started it on the left-hand side, built up play, we broke away from that corner, and when Kane whipped the ball out wide to Trippier, the opposite wing-back, Shaw roaring in at the far post, took it on, half side foot, half laces, and got it sweet as a nut on the half volley, off the goal post and in at the far post. A fantastic start for England.
What a tournament he has had. 3 assists and now a goal. And in 2 minutes England have given a daft corner away, broken up the other end and scored. And this Italian back line that has hardly conceded a goal really since Roberto Mancini took over 3 years ago. They've led in only 18 in 38 games. But one of them is a goal scored by Luke Shaw in the final. Italy 0, England 1. Who writes these scripts?
Well, it was a sensational break, and as soon as England break with the energy they've got, this crowd come absolutely alight, Jim. They know that things are going to happen that are special. The passing ability of the team, the pace, the slickness of passing.
Mason now blocked off, wins the free kick, fouled by Jorginho. Free kick going to be taken by England. Inside their own half, it's time to down a breath really. 4 minutes in, Italy 0, England 1 on TalkSport. Sol Campbell, what a start!
What a start, a marvellous start. That's what we needed. Get the crowd behind us, and hopefully now that will settle us down right. And we need another one, because obviously I don't think one's going to be enough today. But what a start, amazing start. Well done, Luke.
England now in a position, effectively, all they've got to do is hold Italy for 85 minutes, draw from here, and England are the European champions. But a long way to go. Maguire taking the free kick. Harry Kane trying to win the second ball with Di Lorenzo. And eventually a free kick has been given against Mason Mount for a foul on Jorginho. Let's just clear up some housekeeping, Stuart, in terms of the way that England are setting up the forward 3.
Yeah, almost like an arrowhead in many ways. Kane as the central one, just to his right, Sterling and Mount to his left. Both of them are tucked in slightly, not playing wide in any way, shape or form, playing nice and tight as a central. Behind them, Phillips and Rice.
Marco Verratti has the ball for Italy, wearing 6s, laid it back for Bonucci. Bonucci for Verratti again. Verratti's ball into the midfield, foul by Calvin Phillips, and a free kick. The Order Campers will have a word with him. He's just telling him to calm down. There's no yellow card at this juncture. Italy in a hurry to restart things. Take the free kick quickly. Insigne played into the feet of Ciro Immobile. Out towards the left-hand touchline. An opportunity for Italy just to try and get England on the back foot for the first time. Trippier just backpedals in defence, forcing Italy back out. Layoff from Verratti towards the edge of the penalty area. Still the Italians maintaining possession. It's Chiesa. His dad played against Gareth Southgate in England-Italy clashes in the past. He can't find a way through. He's lobbed back over the top by Bonucci and headed away well by Walker, and then on by Declan Rice and on again by Mount. Italy win the first aerial challenge and knock it back towards Chiesa. Shaw with a block challenge has fouled him, and it's a free kick to Italy about 5 yards outside the penalty area. And almost level with the right-hand side of the box, probably 4 or 5 yards in from the right-hand side of the box. And Luke Shaw, who has conjured up one of the great, potentially, moments in English football history, has now given a free kick away in a very dangerous position. The Italians cutely have just walked the free kick back a yard or two from where the infringement took place, and maybe nicked a yard infield as well, just to favour the angle. Jordan Pickford in all green stands with his back on the post, and he's just motioning with his gloved left hand to the 4-man wall that he wants them to move across a little bit. There is a man down behind the wall. Free kick comes inside the bar from Insigne. Out of play, 7 gone. Italy 0, England 1 in the final.
As we saw a few days ago in the first of the semi-finals, the Italy-Spain game, you've got to move the ball very quickly, you've got to play with a clear head, you've got to press really well, and that will be the same tonight. I think we spoke about the semi-final and the level you had to achieve. That's going to be exactly the same tonight. This is going to be a high revs game.
Phillips plays it forward. Raheem Sterling just got caught on the top of the foot. It's an Italy throw. The game being played at a really good tempo, as you would imagine, particularly with England having scored the early goal. No thought that Italy now will just try and sit back, Not that they do that these days anyway. It isn't the Italian DNA of this Roberto Mancini team, but they have really come out and desperately searching an equaliser as immediately as possible. Let's go down pitch side. TalkSports England correspondent is Faye Carruthers, who will have had the perfect view of that Luke Shaw goal.
Oh, it was an absolute beauty, Jim. It was fantastic, and the celebration afterwards, they all wheeled off to the England fans over to my left, piled on each other again, and the Italian fans behind me are in stunned silence at the moment.
Last time England beat Italy in a competitive international back in 1977 with goals from Kevin Keegan and Trevor Brooking. Is this going to be the night? Raheem Sterling pushed to the ground by Chiellini. It's a free kick to England on the edge of the centre circle in the Italian half. A chance for Kane to make his way back forward. Kane's already covered an awful lot of ground. No thoughts for England of loading the penalty area. They're taking the free kick short. Played it back for Walker. Walker to Rice, who's inside the centre circle, and now goes down towards Shaw. Shaw flicking it forward round the corner into Di Lorenzo's midriff and out for a throw. And Luke Shaw, about 10 yards adrift to the edge of the penalty area, surveys his options, one of whom is Declan Rice. Turns the other way away from him. Kane walks away, not in the position to receive the ball. Shaw being given a hurry up here by the Dutch referee. Now takes the throw, and it's headed by Chiellini. Under pressure from Phillips, straight back out of play for another throw, and they'll do it all again. England stealing a few yards up the touchline.
Interesting to see, Jim, when England have broken, that you almost sense the fear in the Italians. They're so aware of the pace.
Walker, oh, that's a lovely ball inside the penalty area. Sterling was waiting, the cross was blocked before it got to him. But whenever England can get the ball out wide, particularly on that right-hand side, you kind of expect that they're going to score. Put a potent ball inside the penalty area, and the Italians on the back foot, certainly struggling to deal with that threat of tempo. As the rain cascades down here in North London, and I can guarantee that probably 45, 50,000 of the England fans in here don't even know it's coming. 1-0 to England after Luke Shaw's second-minute goal. Quickest ever in a final of the European Championships. Italy on the front foot, chip forward, too long for Immobile. Jordan Pickford comes out. Nice first touch of the ball for him. And he's claimed it well. A goalkeeper who's kept 11 clean sheets in his last 15 games. He's conceded only 5 goals in that run. Another clean sheet for him tonight. And England are the European champions. He would also become the first goalkeeper ever to keep 6 clean sheets in one Euros. Shaw with the ball in his hand, preparing to take a throw here. At 10 yards inside his own half. Mount making a good early run for him down the touchline. Jorginho keeping a weather eye on Harry Kane. He's just doubling around. It's a lovely turn by Kane. Got away from Verratti, and then challenge came on him from Barella, who hurt himself in the process. Came back on his feet. England wanted to take the free kick quickly, but Barella is still down hurt. The referee just leans over him to make sure he's okay. He'll help himself back to his feet now. We're 11 minutes in. It's Italy 0, England 1, and here's the former England captain Stuart Pearce.
Well, it's been an explosive start. This tournament has just been absolutely sensational, and we're in for an absolute treat with the final once again. The Italians have already showed us they're a bit fearful of us on the break, without a doubt, and I think if we can keep a high energy game, it suits us down to the ground.
Maguire plays it forward. Kane so deep as he picks up possession. It's another great ball out towards the right hand side. Trippier clipping it in, on too much on it for Sterling, but Di Lorenzo wasn't sure who was where, and got a left foot to it and puts it over the line and out of play for England's first corner. But Kane is running the show here because he's dropping deep into the midfield. He's drawing players out as we suspected he'd be able to. There's always the outball of Trippier on the England right, Stu.
His game intelligence is absolutely fantastic. He receives the ball with it back to goal, and he's just got a sixth sense of where the opposition are, and just turns away from the challenge. And he's passing. We've switched the play a couple of times now, one leading to the goal.
5 in the penalty area to attack this. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinging delivery from Trippier. Donnarumma has come out and caught it, and then balls it out very quickly, and the chance of the counter-attack. England are going to have to get the bodies back very quickly. Mason Mount comes across, spots the line of Immobile, who goes down, no foul. And Mount gave him a cursory gesture, suggesting that Immobile should know better than trying to do that. Sterling turning in possession, going into the way of immediate support, but again they're getting Trippier forward, and Emerson can't deal with him on that far touchline, the England right. Ball worked back by Phillips to Rice. Rice has got his close friend Mason Mount just in front of him. And they exchange passes before he goes into the feet of Calvin Phillips again. Back to Rice once more, to the goal scorer Shaw. Lovely ball from Shaw. First time with the instep down the line for Mount. Mount trying to ride his way through the challenge in the penalty area for Jorginho. It was with the block. A little double ricochet between him and Mount, but it hit the Italian last. It's another England corner.
Well, any suggestions of nerves? Once again, the team have disbanded that straight away, playing fantastic, some really good slick football, and once they open up the heart of the Italian defence, there's a real panic. They can't engage England, they've just got to back off, and if we keep playing the way we are, I think there's more goals to come.
Second England corner. Kieran Trippier gives the signal, both hands above his head, reiterates that as he backpedals, ball inside the area looking for a near post flick. It's not to work. Out as far as Shaw chipping it forward. Trippier had done well to backpedal, get himself onside, receives the return ball, lays it back for Mount, in swinging delivery. Donnarumma can catch it, the space in front of him well protected by Bonucci and Chiellini, and Donnarumma bowls it out quickly for Italy to try and get going again. England leading 1-0 here on TalkSport with 14 minutes gone. Let's get the views of another former England captain, Sol Campbell.
I just love the way England have started. The back four playing fantastic. Lovely, good shape about them. Trippier's dropping in as well. It's a great balance. We're pushing, we're harrying them. We also, I love the overload Trippier has given us on his side. They can't deal with it at the moment. The Italians, they haven't even worked it out.
Di Lorenzo has possession on the Italian right, and he's worked it in towards Jorginho. Jorginho finds Verratti in his yellow boots. Verratti's ball forward, easily knocked away before it got as far as Insigne, and smacked upfield by the England back line all the way through to Donnarumma, who's still only 22. Never conceded more than one in a game for Italy in his career. Man who has played first team football for Milan at 16. And has been first choice for his keeper, first choice for his country pretty much since he was 17. Interesting to see where he's playing his club football next season. With such a big reputation, nothing he can do about Luke Shaw's bouncing shot that beat him at his near post less than 2 minutes into this encounter. Plays 16 now, it's still 1-0 as the rain continues to fall in North London. Verratti plays it out of the left-hand touchline and gets an immediate return ball. Then goes back to the folding Chiellini, forward from Bonucci with a ball decided to split the lines and find Jorginho, just inviting him forward. It's a good run. Insigne's got round the back here and coming across the cover, Trippier, who'd let him have the run, came back covered anyway, goes out of play for what would have been a corner, but Trippier's defending was perfect. He knew that Insigne was offside, he let him run, and the flag is up. It's a free kick which will be taken by England on the edge of their own penalty area.
Yeah, I think it was actually Emerson, the fullback, actually that got in there, and I'm not overly sure that, looking at Trips' body language, he actually knew that he was creeping in behind him and he was offside. The Italians very good. The interchange of play when they get the ball built up into the middle third is very good, and we've got to make sure we stay with runners.
Great distribution from Pickford. He's found Shaw, can take it down on his chest on the turn, driving forward. Shaw flicking it. The idea was right, the execution not quite. Look for Mason Mount making the run down the left-hand side of the area. Too much on him. And he goes out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken by Donnarumma away to our left-hand side. This is Italy's 10th major final. They've won 5 and lost 4. They have won the European Championships, but way back in 1968. Lost a couple of finals this century. England looking, of course, to win it for the first time ever. And so far, so good. Bonucci, it's a cracking ball out towards the Left-hand side, Insigne firing it in towards Ciro Immobile. Calvin Phillips comes back after the initial John Stones header, but can't find the man. It's gone out of play for a throw which will be taken on the Italian left, level the edge of the England penalty area. Taken quickly into the feet of the diminutive Neapolitan Lorenzo Insigne. Now Di Lorenzo, the right back. Di Lorenzo's ball down towards Chiesa. So the hit, Chiesa wanted it in defeat, and he put it into space for him to attack. That was easy for Luke Shaw to defend. He goes out of play for a throw, which is taken short by Shaw, whose long switch of play is headed down towards Kyle Walker, and Walker balloons it forward, straight out of play, into the Italian substitutes over on the far touchline for a throw that will be taken on the Italian left-hand side. England coming into this on the back of 4 straight wins. Italy have won 13 of the last 14. This actually the first time they've even trailed in 18 games, stretching back to the draw against Bosnia-Herzegovina back in September. They haven't been behind in any game since then, but they're behind in this one when it matters. Mount back for Shaw. Shaw's ball down the left-hand touchline is put out of play by Di Lorenzo, and it's out for a throw that will be taken on the England left-hand side. 19 gone, Italy 0, England 1.
Yeah, when the Italians lose it in the advanced areas of the pitch, they make sure they press really quickly. You've got to play through that first and second press. If you do that, the game opens up.
Stones, Sterling had dropped off to receive the ball that little bit deeper this time. Lays it back for Declan Rice. Possession 60-40 in Italy's favour so far. That will suit England with their ability on the counter-attack against premium opposition. Something that we have seen before. England have won a free kick here as Kane is brought on. Well, I think back to one of the best England performances that I've ever seen, which was a 3-2 win away to Spain, where England were 3-0 up in next to no time, and having scored the first, just invited Spain onto them and hit them to devastating effect on the counter-attack. You just wonder whether this might unfold the same way. Certainly England have had the stellar early start. And Luke Shaw is on again here, the long diagonal from the free kick, down towards Shaw, great control, right-footed ball, chipped, bounces once inside the penalty area, then back out of it again. Trippier making his way forward, did his best to stop the block being an easy one. Emerson gets it away, but at the expense of a throw that will be taken on the England right.
I think we've seen signs of that counter-attack threat already from England, Jim, I really do, and it's just a case, feed the ball into Kane or Sterling or Mount, and then off we go from there.
Declan Rice has got it. He's played it down towards Maguire. Maguire to Shaw. Back for Maguire again. Takes it a few yards back inside his own half. It goes back for Jordan Pickford. 20 minutes in. But the one thing that we do know already, if this isn't going to end the way we all want it, it's going to be even more painful having had the perfect start. Pickford has put the ball straight out of play. Italy have got a problem. They've got a man down in the midfield. It's Jorginho that is down in need of treatment. And that has given England an opportunity to get some drink on board, go out towards the far touchline from us, which is right in front of Gareth Southgate, who will be giving some instructions, praising them for the start that they've made, and reiterating the messages, what needs to be done, the fine-tuning from here. But Sol Campbell, it could hardly have got any better so far.
I think it's it was a magnificent start. The overload, they haven't worked it out, the Italians, and we're really using it to a great effect. And long may it continue, because Insigne, he doesn't want to come back and track. So Trippier's having a wonderful time with the switch ball, and he's utilising it all the time. So as long as he don't come back, we're going to have yards and space to kind of operate down there.
Let's go back pitch side and speak to our England correspondent on TalkSport, Faker Roberts.
Yeah, Insigne had the measure of Trippier just then, but he had to track back, as Soldier said, for it. And the Italian fans behind me look so nervous, but so do the England fans. That's the problem with getting an early goal, isn't it? We've seen what's happened before.
Well, Jorginho's back on his feet and is being led away very gingerly from where he'd gone down inside the centre circle. Making his way over towards the far touchline. Got the stretcher ready for him, but thankfully that isn't necessary.
Just looking at the finish of Shaw as well on the far post, it was a half volley. He's hit it straight into the turf again, controlled the ball fantastically well. Not an easy finish to take it first time, but a really slick finish, Jim.
Luke Shaw, a player that played at the 2014 World Cup as a teenager in the dead rubber with Costa Rica. He then missed the last Euros with a broken leg, didn't play in qualifying, down the pecking order, but now first choice left back, and he's conjured up a moment that he will never forget, and that nobody here will ever forget. It could be a moment that goes down in footballing immortality. 1-0 to England. We're back underway. Italy still down to 10 men. Jorginho back to his feet now, but waiting for permission to come back on. Chiesa has it, right hand side of the penalty area. Low driven ball in from him. Stones knocks it away. Maguire's clearance more up than out, but Declan Rice can help it further clear outside the penalty area, and then Mount turns it round the corner where Rice has made a good run, and a clever little drop of the shoulder has confused Barella. Kane similarly and the sliding Chiesa to lay it back for Shaw, and Phillips finds Maguire, and England are playing with a swagger. It's all you ever hope really as an England fan, that you one day see them in a major tournament final, and you just hope that they would do themselves justice. But so far, so good. Maguire's back pass, just a shade under hit, just a notch or two, but Pickford got there. And Sterling has just turned away from Jorginho, who's really struggling. Jorginho trying to play the ball, Sterling, I beg your pardon, trying to play the ball in towards Kane. Verratti can get it back to his goalkeeper. I don't know that Jorginho is going to be able to continue. Sterling just breezed past him there. But now Italy on the counter-attack. England didn't stop, but was certainly expecting a free kick to be given their way. Maguire sweeps up on the edge of the penalty area. Phillips comes back to aid the cause, put under pressure by Chiesa, who tackled in, and then Phillips lays it back, but Chiesa judged who got the last touch, and it's a goal kick which will be taken by Jordan Pickford away to our right hand side.
Well, when Sterling picked that ball up, you might throw in the fact that Jorginho's had a slight niggle. He walked past him, literally walked past him then, and that opened up the back line once again, and it was do or die defending from Bonucci and Chiellini.
Just the one shot from England so far, but what a shot it was from Luke Shaw. And one that gave England the lead less than 2 minutes into the encounter.
Not sure too many had Luke Shaw as first goal scorer this evening.
Well, if England win this, the bookies will have had a nightmare, but they'll have cleaned up the first goal scoring market, because very, very few will have gone for Shaw, who I'm not sure whether he's got 2 or 3 goals in his senior club career, but it is one of those. Here's Maguire playing it for the aforementioned Luke Shaw again. Down he comes for Maguire. Maguire laying it back for Walker. Walker with a long diagonal over the top towards the right hand side of the penalty, and the offside flag is up this time against Trippier, and it's a free kick which will be taken on the Italian left hand side. Taken quickly as well, Chiellini finding Bonucci, 2 players who played in excess of 220 Italian internationals between. It's the 63rd game they played together today. Di Lorenzo coming in off the right flank, and the pressure from Mount lays it back for Bonucci again. He's in a central position as he works it forward, away from Ciro Immobile, and then Maguire just confidently steps past him, playing it in towards the feet of Harry Kane, though. It was cut out by Jorginho, and Jorginho will pick it up on the edge of the centre circle and try and get Italy going over the halfway line. Insigne out towards the Italian left. Back he goes to Chiellini. Chiellini to Bonucci. Bonucci slowing it down to walking pace for a moment. Plays it forward towards Jorginho. Back in towards Bonucci. Bonucci. Fire pass from Chiellini. Di Lorenzo working into the heart of the midfield. Jorginho to Verratti. First time ball forward from him. Barella to Chiesa. Italy beginning to string the passes together, and you can hear the boos and whistles from the England fans, but they'll love that. There's a errant shot from Insigne from about 30 yards, drifts innocuously wide. It's only the second attempt that they've had in the game. They still haven't had one on target so far, and that one harmlessly drifts away out of play for a goal kick. And England are just over an hour away from being crowned the champions of Europe. It's Italy 0, England 1.
Yeah, when the Italians get in advanced areas, very good, get men available, good movement of their players, and it's important the England defenders and midfield players especially stay with their runners, when to press, when to sit off.
Just a word of caution, of course, that England struck so early in the World Cup semi-final. Didn't hold on in that one. Have to make sure that they hold on in this one. So much has been made of that last World Cup campaign and the lessons that have been learned. And it's just a question of match management to a large extent from here. But what England would give for a little bit of insurance that the safety blanket of a second goal. Stones stepping up to the defensive line, finding Kane now. Kane towards the edge of the penalty area, inside the box but not in a shooting position. Forced to pull it back away from Jorginho. Finds Rice. Rice to Shaw. England getting the bodies forward. Stones just ventures back into a position as Rice and Phillips exchange passes. Maguire to Stones, who very quickly is the deepest lying of England's outfield players. Maguire now to Shaw again. Shaw turned round the corner by Mason Mount, but straight to Jorginho, who seemingly is going to be able to run his problem off. And Jorginho, after exchanging passes with Bonucci, can try and get Italy back on the front foot. Forward he goes for Barella. Barella back to Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo behind square for Bonucci, the Juventus man, just bringing it forward towards the edge of the centre circle. A play forward now by Verratti. Immobile dropping that a little bit deeper. The Lazio marksman laying it off for Di Lorenzo. Forward from him to Barella. Back for Di Lorenzo again. Italy still concentrated in the central trench of the pitch. This move is seeing passes played at either side of the halfway line, really. Now Bonucci will try and mix it up the long diagonal ball forward. Chiesa making a run. Shaw heads it away. Di Lorenzo then battles with Mount and has fouled it. And it's a free kick which will be taken by England just inside their own half on the left-hand side. 30 gone. It's Italy 0, England 1.
Just looking at the central midfield match-up for the last couple of minutes there. Both Rice and Phillips are locking onto Barella and Verratti. Barella and Verratti swapping on occasion, but Rice and Phillips just holding their ground and locking on to whoever's in their eye line, leaving Jorginho to be picked up by either the deep-lying Kane or Mason Mount.
So, I think when I look at Di Lorenzo, he's just all over the place. I think we can definitely get a couple of mistakes out of him. He's all over. He's all at sea.
Di Lorenzo playing at right back here for Italy, and Manda made a good run past him there, but Luke Shaw couldn't quite supply the ball that was necessary. Heard there from Stuart Pearce and Sol Campbell too, former England captains, part of our team here on TalkSport, along with in-stadium producers Declan McCarthy and Adam Reid, our TalkSport England correspondent Faker, others who will be speaking to Gareth Southgate, and the headline makers at the end of the game. Mark Saggers, of course, talking through all the action. Here's Bonucci. Play by Bonucci to Chiellini and out to the Italian left-hand side. Back for the retreating Jorginho. Chiellini for Bonucci again inside the middle of midfield. Now Chiellini to Jorginho. Jorginho able just to work it forward 20 yards or so. Insigne, the diminutive playmaker, coming in off the left flank. England got it away and then gave it straight back. The ball played in towards the edge of the penalty area. It was a poor one and it just went behind its intended target. Jorginho can wrap his right foot around it and find Di Lorenzo. Chiesa into the feet of Barella. Now Chiesa takes over again. Tall, dark hair, round shoulder. Lays it back for the zippy Barella, buzzing around in the midfield. To the gnarly veteran Chiellini. Back to his close friend Bonucci. Bonucci to Verratti. Verratti, he's made more appearances than nearly everybody else in history for PSG. To Lorenzo Insigne. Insigne out to the left. Italian commentators in front of us getting increasingly animated at the lack of movement. They want the ball to be played at a brisker tempo seemingly. England defending here as Italy are stringing 20-30 passes together and then struggling to get the ball away when they had the opportunity. It was Kyle Walker that was at fault, had his pocket picked. So Italy have it again in the deeper position that can't hurt England, but they've still got it. Insigne, back for Verratti. Verratti striding forward. A little reverse ball from him. Insigne out towards the left-hand touchline. It's gone out of play for a goal kick. Before Emerson could wrap his left foot around it and get it in, and then there's some finger pointing between him and Kieran Trippier, who for a moment I thought were going to go chest to chest. It all ends in smiles. Trippier winning that particular battle. He's won most of them down that flank so far. We've got 12 minutes to go to half-time on TalkSport, where England lead in the final by a goal to nil.
Some really smart possession play from the Italians there, kept it, looked to keep probing, couldn't find a way through England's, but it's interesting to see Phillips' body language. He's chased 3, 4, 5 and all of a sudden he thought, I'm getting nowhere near the ball here, and he almost stopped chasing the ball and just sat still for a little while, thinking to himself, I can't get near the ball.
Great flick on by Kane. Sterling for Mason Mount, and he can't supply with a return ball. But England again breaking forward briskly, and that is where they can unlock this Italian defence. Another coming together between Trippier and one of the Italians. It was Verratti that time. He helps him back to his feet. It's an England throw near the edge of the Italian penalty area. Throw that Trippier will himself take.
I think Trips his time in the Manchester-born Spaniard now. His time there is standing him in very good stead.
Learned a few tricks, I would imagine, under Diego Simeone. It'd be difficult not to. But he's had an outstanding game so far. And again, without wishing to tempt fate, it just shows the versatility of England, adept at playing different formations now, not completely wedded to one, whether it's suitable or not. Eyebrows were raised when England picked this side to play this way, but at the moment everything's been vindicated. Rice trying to get the better of Chiesa, had a little nibble in him and failed. Chiesa towards the edge of the box, oh, it's just wide. That was Italy's best moment by a street, and Chiesa, having got away from Declan Rice, cut inside, got it onto his left foot, and I don't know whether Jordan Pickford was anticipating he was going to go the other way, but he didn't make a move over towards his near post. He knew that if he was going to nestle in there, he was beaten, but it went a fraction wide, and it stays 1-0 to England.
I looked to my left just then when that shot whistled past the post. Jim and Saul's face said it all. If that was nestling in the back of the net, our goal is nowhere near it. Chiesa, great effort, just pulled his effort just beyond the post. Italy asking 1 or 2 questions of us. We've got to stay strong at this moment in time. Get hold of the ball, wrestle back momentum and starve the Italian to the ball.
They scored a couple of goals in the tournament against Austria and Spain. Federico Chiesa. England working forward now. Shaw's brought it down brilliantly in his stride again on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Then gets back to his feet after getting the better of Chiesa. Low left-footed ball across the edge of the 6-yard box. And he split the gap between the two England players who are waiting. Just in behind Mount. And not enough on it to find Trippier.
What a game we've got on our hands here. You know, it's a tactical bout between the two. It's a physical bout. It's everything you want from a major final.
Well, everything you want from a major final is the right result as well. And at the moment, the scoreline is good. Italy 0, England 1. Luke Shaw with the goal. Thanks to Adrian Dunham, who has informed me that it's 3 Manchester United goals for Luke Shaw in his career before tonight. So 4 for club and country now, but a monumental one on the CV. Bonucci playing it back to Donnarumma, who controls it on the edge of the 6-yard box and take a touch and then another. Mason Mount doesn't come and engage as it's rolled forward towards Verratti. Phillips certainly does, and Ayres after him. And there's just a little coming together between the two. Two men, those two, who would admire the way that the other plays. Rice has won it back in the midfield. It fell his way. Kane's got it now. Again, just dropping deep into pockets that ask questions of the Italian 3-man midfield. Kane doing a very similar role to that Dani Olmo performed the other night. He's not been followed out by Bonucci in the same way that Dani Olmo was in that Spain game, but when he's got it and can just come deep and receive the ball around Barella, then the Italians are having problems.
I'm just looking at Phillips now. He's being drawn towards Verratti. Verratti's gone very deep. Phillips going in there is seeding a big hole behind him. We've got to be really, really careful. The hole's too big for Ricey to fill on his own.
Well, this time he has filled it because he's been fouled by Emerson, and he hates the decision. But just in the same way that dropping deep the other day caused problems for the Italians, now they are doing, as you say, Stuart, something very similar just to try and draw Calvin Phillips out. And he's got to make sure that there is the positional responsibility to go with everything else.
Yeah, Phillips has just shown me with his body language a little bit that he's got almost frustrated with himself that he can't lock on and get a challenge. They're drawing him out, showing him the ball and then playing round him. He's got to be very careful he don't get too drawn out of position.
Maguire's ball into the feet of Kane, who went down easily. It was well won by Chiellini. Ball out towards the left-hand side for Immobile. Knew he was offside, and by the time he actually made a movement towards the ball, he didn't get there anyway. And Kyle Walker will watch it safely over the line and out for a free kick, which will be taken by England just outside their own penalty area. It's Italy 0, England 1. Last time that Italy lost a game was back in 2018, a Nations League tie against Portugal. Unbeaten in 33 since then. A run of 13 straight wins ending on Tuesday when they effectively drew the game against Spain before beating them on penalties. But can England inflict that first Italian defeat since 2018? A run of 33 games in 3 years. So far so good. 39 on the clock. Italy 0, England 1. England have led in this final for all but the opening 2 minutes. Bonucci will bring it out from the back here.
You come to a stage in the game, you're looking at the clock, as you said, Jim, 39 minutes, and how vital it is that England get to that halfway marker with their nose in front.
Italy working the ball through the midfield very effectively, and then a quicker switch of play. Barella out towards the left-hand side. Emerson and Insigne both making ground down that left-hand touchline. It's Emerson's layoff, gets the return ball from Insigne. Ball inside the box, not the best, and Phillips in exactly the right place that time knocks it away. And then Bonucci and Kane battle on halfway, and Kane came off second best, got himself back to his feet and threw his hands out disgustedly at Dutch referee Bjorn Kuipers. So he felt that he was fouled. The referee allows play to go on, and Bonucci has it. But that was another encouraging moment for England, because as they got it forward, Kane isolated against Bonucci. Had he beaten him, he would have been through, albeit with a lot of ground to make up.
I think intelligent defending there by Bonucci. I'm not sure it is a foul. I think he's dipped in front and won the ball. But Phillips just prior to that was filling the box, and that's the importance of these two holding midfield shields in Rice and Phillips. It is vital that they keep doing that job and filling holes in front of the back three.
Now Mount has given a free kick away. He's judged to have caught Barella, and England have one to defend. Not really in a shooting position because it's right at the limit of range and out level with the right hand side of the box. And Verratti and Insigne are the two players that are standing over it. Insigne, I would imagine, will vacate the scene. Verratti stands with his right arm above his head. Chiellini's forward. Bonucci is in there as well. Declan Rice is keeping a watchful eye on him. Right-footed ball in from Verratti. Pickford didn't know whether to come or not. He backpedaled in time. It's half cleared. And then a touch from Chiesa. The referee's done England a massive favour there. He got in the way of Jorginho. Jorginho able to pick it up though for the Italians. Works it back for Insigne. It's 20 yards outside the England penalty area. And now they will come on the front foot once more. England with 5 back inside the box as well as the goalkeeper, waiting to defend any aerial ball that comes inside the penalty area. It's laid back for Insigne. Italy's possession, neat and tidy. Short, crisp passes along the ground. It's not any further than 10-12 yards. England just have to make sure that they're regimented in their defence and keep shuffling across, keeping the shape. Ball out towards Emerson. Left-footed ball firing from him while blocked by Trippier. He's had a great night. And his block that's gone out of play for a throw, which will be taken over on the Italian left-hand side. 3 minutes to go to half-time.
Yeah, I think Declan was a little bit fortunate there. He was detailed to deal with Chiellini from that last free kick and just got caught on the run. Chiellini got advanced him and half grappling as they went in the box.
Throw taken quickly down the Italian left and too quickly for Insigne, who couldn't control it. And it's gone out of play for a goal kick. Last time the two sides met at Wembley, England had the lead for an hour in that game. And it was Lorenzo Insigne that equalised with a penalty given away by James Tarkowski on his debut in the last 3 or 4 minutes. It's not over till it's over. A lot of football's got to be played yet, but at the start of the tournament, what you'd have given to be in this position with England leading 1-0 in the final at home to Italy with 2 minutes to go to half-time. The Italians still dominating possession. It was an attempt to win a free kick there by Barella with a dive past Rice. Mount's got possession. Good quick feet from him. Out towards Harry Kane. Right-footed ball in from Kane. Sterling blocked off edge of the box. Trying to get a run past Di Lorenzo. And then Bonucci and Donnarumma both telling what they think of him, leaning over him, helping him back to his feet in inverted commas. England have it again, working it back in the midfield with Rice. It's done well. Rides the challenge of Chiesa. Gets away from Barella. Still Declan Rice goes. Was he caught as he played the pass? Referee says no. Rice thought that he was. The England fans beginning to feel that they're not getting the rubber to agree with the decisions and nothing's being given their way. We've got a minute to go to half-time. And England lead it with that very early Luke Shaw goal.
Fantastic positional play by Rice. He then drove past 3 players, just couldn't get his pass away to Sterling.
Jorginho with a good ball over the top. Insigne trying to run at Kyle Walker. Trippier is back, doubling up with Walker to help him. Insigne down by the corner flag has maintained possession to pull back to the corner of the box. A dangerous chance this for England. Throw bodies in the way of a shot that wasn't really forthcoming. The ball just rolled away and England half clearing. Now it's back from Barella to Di Lorenzo. The right back goes deeper for Bonucci. Bonucci fall for Marco Verratti. In the last minute of the first half, there will be a little bit of time to be added on because of the Jorginho injury, so we might get an extra 2 minutes here. We'll find out very shortly. Di Lorenzo, square to his left-hand side for Barella. Now to Verratti. Verratti with a straight ball over the top. Insigne peels away and takes the ball down with his right foot, but in doing so just allowed Trippier the opportunity to get his right foot to it and smack it over the line and out of play for an Italian throw. Well, they're in a real hurry to eke as many seconds out of this first half as they can to get back on level terms, and they will in fact be 4 added minutes at the end of this first half. England Sol Campbell going into first half stoppage time with a 1 goal in.
I think really, could have wanted a better start. I mean, we just got to watch out for their triangles in their last third. They're just trying to draw us out, correct that space. Immobile is not going to do much up there, but they're going to just try to kind of get that 1-2 round the box, little cut back for a goal.
Italy have a throw midway inside England territory. And the Italian possession just going up, and they're having it in better areas at the moment. It'll be reassuring to hear the half-time whistle. Pickford comes out and berates somebody for allowing a cross to come in. Shaw that headed it away. Trippier when the ball went out of play was just leaning over for a moment. Di Lorenzo plays it in. All right, but his shot was well blocked. It hit John Stones. He was Immobile with the effort. Verratti gets one in. Pickford can gather and get on that, but that was much better from Italy, and great defending from Stones. Found himself in the right place at the right time to be able to effect the block on a very potent shot.
Really good block there by John Stones. Spread himself really wide, just took it in the midriff. And if you're under any illusions how easy it is or difficult it is to win a major trophy at international level, if we're going to pick the trophy up at the end of the evening, you know we're going to have to work for it.
Rice playing it forward. Ball's gone off Di Lorenzo. Out for an England throw. Rice retrieved it. There was no chance of him taking that throw himself. Just trying to run a few seconds down. Shaw takes it to Sterling to Mount. The sliding challenge comes in, a little bit of an unorthodox one from Barella. Kane emerges with possession. Kane able to pop it off to his right-hand side, but the loose ball squirts away from Phillips. Got 2 minutes of first half stoppage time to go. Long ball played over the top was not a good one for Immobile's run. Walker had him covered, and the bounce of the ball was dealt with well by John Stones. And then it's played forward again. Phillips picking it up in the midfield. Phillips inside the centre circle. He's left for Harry Maguire. Maguire down towards Shaw. Shaw's got Sterling showing for the ball right in front of him. He's laid it back for Declan Rice again. I think there would have been times in other tournaments, under other managers, other scenarios where the fact that England haven't had a shot since the second minute of this game would be a problem. Here's Sterling. Sterling popping it to his right for Kane, but couldn't play him in, and Italy will bring it away. And England's match management has radically improved over the course of this season. Chiesa's done well here though for Italy. With just over a minute of the first half still to come. Insigne, inside left, playing it back to Chiellini. Chiellini to Jorginho, straight back again, and now towards that left-hand touchline once more. As Insigne makes his way forward, combining with Emerson on that left flank. Back it goes for Giorgio Chiellini. Jorginho, play forward for Bonucci, and that is one that you can file under optimistic. He was 30 yards out and he's whacked it 10 yards wide. It goes out of play for a goal kick, and England are going to get the half-time with their lead intact. It's 1-0 here on TalkSport.
Yeah, the Italians have had the ascendancy the last 15 minutes or so, and when they've got into mid-band areas, it's fine, go and press it. When they've got near our bottom third, we've got to make sure we've almost got to even out to a 5-4-1 scenario to press them.
Pickford whacks it forward long. Kane helps it on, looking for Sterling but can't find him. A possession for Italy up into the mid-60s now. Still they have it, working it down the left-hand side. They've got a man down in Chiellini, but the ball is played over the top. Kyle Walker chests it down, and the roar you hear is one of appreciation from England fans, because the three lines are halfway there. Luke Shaw's second goal, the difference between the two teams. Half-time in the final, it is Italy 0, England 1. Well, no changes in personnel ahead of the second half. I'll run through the two teams for you in a moment. Firstly, a fate-tempting statistic. England have never lost a competitive match at Wembley when leading at half-time. 87 wins and 8 draws. The last 31 competitive matches at Wembley when they've been ahead at the break, they have won. They can extend that to 32 tonight. It's party time. England all white, kick from left to right, and the second half is underway. 45 minutes to go of normal time, with of course the right of it could be extra time and penalties if necessary, both on the agenda this evening. No golden goal these days in the final as there was when Italy lost in 2000, and that was a match where Marco Vecchio had given them a lead that they held right deep into stoppage time before an equalising goal from Sylvain Wiltord. So they have first-hand experience that it really isn't over until it is over. But England leading 30 seconds into the second half. It's an Italian throw over on the far touchline. They're lining up Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Bonucci, Chiellini and Emerson, Barella, Jorginho, Verratti, Chiesa, Immobile, Insigne. England, Pickford in goal, Walker, Stones, Maguire, Trippier, Phillips, Rice and Shaw, Sterling and Mount, and Kane. Italy bringing the ball down the right-hand touchline, fire across in which Luke Shaw has blocked it. Source goes out of play for another throw, which is taken into the feet of Chiesa, and he's tapped it straight back out of play for a throw that Luke Shaw is going to take over on that far touchline. No changes in personnel on the field, none here either, with Sol Campbell and Stuart Pearce alongside me for the second half. Here's Stuart.
Yeah, just need a rhythm to settle into the second half, see which way we're going. Sags mentioned at the half-time, what do England need to do? Sometimes the momentum of the game dictates that, what the opposition do. In the first booking of the match, I believe.
Yep, yellow card as Harry Kane was fouled. And the lunging challenge which got him came from Barella. So he goes in the book. A couple of minutes into the second half. Italy 0, England 1. And Harry Maguire just slowed things down, just motioning for Jordan Pickford to come out and take this free kick. It was never likely to happen. Maguire takes it himself, firing playing it forward down towards Luke Shaw, who has gone up for it. It's been headed away past him by Di Lorenzo for a throw which will be taken on the English left, level the edge of the box. Kane shove the ball into feet. Sterling trying to make a darting run. It's laid back towards Luke Shaw. Shaw will get towards the bias. Oh, it's a nice turn. Gets onto his right foot. Finds Sterling inside the area. It's rain. Sterling goes to ground. Referee says no penalty. Immediately waved his arms across his body and said no. Sterling thought that he just nipped him. Goal side of Bonucci was brought down, but the referee was completely unmoved.
Well, that's what VAR's here for. They'll have a look at it and hopefully decide one way or the other and get to the correct decision. But fantastic play by Sterling. When he runs at you, he is a handful.
Italy able to bring the ball away. Verratti finding Insigne. Back for Chiellini, now to Bonucci. 3 minutes into the second half, Bonucci will ping a long one, which Trippier has got something on it, got enough on it to get it back to Pickford. Emerson have made a run. They have missed Spinazzola, with no disrespect to Emerson. Spinazzola making runs down that left-hand side from left back prior to his injury was causing problems for every defence that he faced. And Emerson will make those same runs, but perhaps just lacking a little bit of conviction and finesse when the ball comes his way. Trippier dealt with it on that occasion. Italy restarting the second half with a similar amount of possession as they had in the first. A lot of it concentrated in English territory, which is way to our left-hand side. Ball is played into the feet here of Lorenzo Insigne. Insigne dropping into a much deeper, more central position, trying to draw Calvin Phillips out. Verratti plays it back for Bonucci. Bonucci to his right-hand side, where it's intelligently played for by Jorginho. Coming in off the flank, Barella in towards Insigne, who has won a free kick, and this is in a dangerous position. It is in the D, left of centre, and England have to be at their most alert here.
Well, we've had 60 seconds of interest in football just then in regard to, I've looked at the Sterling penalty claim. I think it's a penalty. The ball's gone up the other end of the pitch, and a less innocuous challenge has resulted in a free kick. Now, I hope this doesn't necessarily now goal, because the referee and VAR need to have a close look at themselves if it does.
Yeah, the VAR is Bastian Dankert from Germany tonight, and on our information screens there was no suggestion that they were having a serious look at the Sterling penalty claim. But this is a big moment, and it's a big moment for Jordan Pickford to make sure he's got the ball in the right position. Beaten by a free kick in the semi-final. Insigne is the player that is standing over this. Right-footed, and it is over the bar, not by much, but over the bar. And again, Pickford very animated once the ball had cleared his goal, and he came out and pointed at both of his temples and was shouting at one of the England defenders. It might have been Stones, but no harm done. Insigne with a free kick that whistled just fractionally wide, and with 40 minutes to go, it's 1-0 to England.
Yeah, I think it was an awful free kick. I mean, he's 2-3 yards outside the box. You've got to hit the target from there. I'm just delighted he didn't.
Kane chesting it down as Pickford whacked it forward upfield. Trippier trying to take on Verratti, and the loose ball squirms away, goes out of play for a throw to Italy. So
for me, you know, the name's on the cup when someone takes a free kick like that and Chiesa past the post. Our name's on the cup. It's coming home. It's great.
The clock is ticking down really slowly. Really slow. We played about 25 minutes of this second half, and the clock says we played 6.
Jim, the clock won't go any quicker by you saying the clock is really going slowly. It won't, so just zip it, will you? No offence.
51 gone, none taken. It's 1-0 to England. Rice bringing the ball forward, plays it down towards Harry Kane. Kane on the edge of the penalty area, can't find a way through past Verratti, sliding challenge, and now Chiesa, and he's going up through the gears, and he's got away from Kane, and Harry Maguire goes across. Stones has got his eye on the runner Immobile. The ball is fired in very deep, and he's brilliantly defended by Walker, who just cushions the header away from Insigne into the sanctuary of Jordan Pickford's hands. 52 gone, 1-0.
It's little actions like that that really take the sting out of the game. Fantastic defending, tracked the runner to the far post, could have easily put it out, the safe option for a corner, kept possession back to the goalie. Well done, Kyle Walker.
Harry Maguire plays the ball forward as Italy ready their first substitute. Sterling thought that he was pushed to the ground there by Chiellini. The referee again is unmoved. Calvin Phillips, tigerish in the challenge, forces Italy to go back inside their own half. Bonucci to Emerson. Emerson able to bring the ball forward. Italy in their blue shirts with the gold detailing. Finding Insigne inside the penalty area, trying to work the angle onto his right foot. Oh, you can ping those in from there as long as you want. And that's out nearer a throw than a goal. And out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken by Jordan Pickford away to the left-hand side. Brian Cristante, who's going to be the player that will be coming on very shortly. And when we've seen him so far in this tournament, he's played either on the left of three in midfield or in the deepest position, and Berardi is also going to be coming on, so it's going to be a double change for Italy. It won't be made just yet. Pickford launches this goal kick forward. Chiellini beating Kane in the air. Header then comes back from the England midfield. Another from Calvin Phillips. Didn't quite get there ahead of Barella, but he was able to pick up the loose ball, and Rice has done well to get away from the challenge that came in from Barella. It's played out towards the left-hand side, and Shaw will be able to bring it forward now for England, and the goal scorer runs out of room, and it goes out of play for a throw, but took a deflection on its way through off an Italian foot. So it's an England throw that I'm not convinced that even Luke Shaw thought he was going to get. They will now make the double change. Jorginho, I would imagine, is going to be the first player that will be coming off, and he will be replaced by Cristante, or is it Barella whose number has been shown? No, it's Barella. So Jorginho stays on. Barella, who's on a yellow card, replaced by Cristante, and Immobile is the other man coming off, and he will be replaced by Domenico Berardi, who started 3 of the first 4 games but was left out in the last couple. Came on for the final hour against Spain. He scored a career best 17 goals this season, part of more than 100 he scored for his club Sassuolo. So he comes on. Double change made. And it's Lorenzo Insigne who's now playing as the central striker. England have Sterling down over on the far touchline, and Bjorn Kaupers again reaches for the book, and a yellow card is shown. A yellow card for Bonucci. Sterling receiving the ball, and then Bonucci, and trying to stop him turning, just stuck out a right foot, missed the ball, took the man. Easy decision for the Dutch referee, and a free kick to England level the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, poor challenge there. I think Bonucci just got done by the speed of Sterling's feet, to be honest. We had a great opportunity for England to toss a free kick in the box now.
What England will give for a second goal here, 10 minutes into the second half. Rice, Stones, Maguire, numbers 4, 5 and 6, all waiting in a line towards the edge of the penalty area. Kane stands by the penalty spot. Sterling is in there as well, likely to make a darting near post, trying to draw defenders out to create space for the big guns coming in from behind him. Luke Shaw, whose delivery from set pieces was absolutely exemplary in that game against Ukraine, sweeps it in here, and Maguire got the header on it but couldn't direct it on target, and it's gone high and wide out of play for a goal kick. 1-0 England, 56 gone.
Yeah, Maguire just sweeping across the front of the 6-yard box, going away from goal, and just try to angle the header, just got underneath it slightly.
Italy will play the ball forward. Insigne will play very much as a false 9, really, encouraging runs from either side. Berardi predominantly from the right. Chiesa's now come over to the left-hand side, and he'll try and get the ball inside the penalty. He's taking a deflection off Trippier. It's back in from Insigne. Pickford got something on it, and England will hammer it away from inside their box. Chiellini mopping up at the back, lays it down for Bonucci. Italy beginning to look that little bit more potent now. Here's Berardi coming in off the right flank again. Can't get the run on Shaw, who's given him a little shove. Play goes on. Italy have it with Verratti, who's got time to turn in the midfield in the central area, 15 yards outside the penalty area. Play back by Verratti for Jorginho, able to make his way forward. Jorginho within 10 yards of the edge of the penalty area. Di Lorenzo, and and Berardi just got in each other's way for a moment and exchanged harsh words as it's gone out of play for a throw that England will take in their left back position. 12 minutes into the second half on TalkSport. Your chance to react at the end of the game, 11 o'clock tonight at Sports Bar. Andy Goldstein and Jason Cundy taking your calls on TalkSport. Here are the thoughts right now of Sol Campbell.
That was a good save by Pickford. That could have gone anywhere. So he's solid. Just got to keep these Italians out. Keep on probing. Keep getting back into position. Make it hard for them.
Really, I mean, just picking up on there, Sterling done brilliantly, made Chiesa go outside, didn't let him come in and open up a shooting angle. Declan Rice filled the gap in the box where just in front of central defenders and picked up when it was deflected off the goalkeeper. So little finite movements by the players, just stopping the Italians opening us up.
Well, Chiesa now switched out to the left. He's a right footer, so he's going to want to come inside whenever he can. Di Lorenzo plays it down the touchline, and ironic cheers from the England fans as it's given away. And a play for another throw that will be taken on the left-hand side by England. Another view of that Jordan Pickford save. Got his angles right at the near post to be able to beat it away. Remember, a clean sheet today. He becomes the first goalkeeper ever to keep 6 in one European Championship. His 14th tournament game, and he's only conceded 9 goals. Stones heads the ball down towards the corner flag where Maguire is able to rescue it. Stop it going out of play for a corner. It is an Italian throw, which Di Lorenzo will go across to take. Just over half an hour to go of normal time. Italy 0, England 1. Luke Shaw's very early goal, the difference between the two teams. Less than 2 minutes on the clock when he scored. Bonucci to Chiellini to Verratti inside the centre circle. Space now for Emerson. Chiesa will play not on the touchline in the way that they did earlier in the game with Insigne. He will drift more into infield pockets really. And they'll try and find him here. Insigne is back to the direction of play, laying it back for Jorginho. Out he goes towards Di Lorenzo, right hand side of the penalty area. Tries to just slip across in his chest, it down. Emerson pulling it back towards Verratti, but the referee spotted an infringement and given a free kick England's way. It's a handball by Chiesa inside the penalty area. Emerson puts his head in his hands in disbelief. But the referee has in fact given it, I think, for a shove by Chiesa on Rice.
No, it was handball, Emerson. It was just a little niggle there, but it went through to Emerson. He took it on his chest and then it rolled down his arm. Good defending by England, nice and relaxed in their demeanour, and it's really important that we stay with our runners, concentrate, keep the ball in front of us and don't get attracted to the ball. Understand where the runner's gone when he lays off.
Trippier with an overhead kick to try and find Harry Kane, and he's headed back through the England midfield where Calvin Phillips is patrolling, and he can find Declan Rice, and Rice now marauding forward into a central position, but just the final ball in that kind of area has let England down all night. It was Rice that time bringing it forward. He had Sterling ahead of him, but just a little bit too much on the pass for Raheem Sterling. But England still lead 1-0. One other England has been a recipe for success throughout this tournament so far.
I tell you what, Declan Rice has been immense tonight. He's filled the box when he's had to defensively. He's surged past midfield players on 2, 3, 4 occasions, and he's got challenges in, and it's important that he does that again for the next half an hour.
Verratti, possession still on the climb for Italy. It's now into 64%. Found about 2/3 of the ball in this second half. Run on the overlap wasn't forthcoming from Di Lorenzo, which had been expected. Berardi scampers after it. Pickford comes out of his penalty area and gets it away, but in getting it upfield, there's no out ball for England. Harry Kane was the furthest advanced of the England players, and he was in his own half of the centre circle. Italy bringing forward again with Chiesa. Chiesa trying to get it onto his right foot, which can be so dangerous, and it's a good save from Pickford. Diving away to his left-hand side, appeals that there should have been an offside flag. It wasn't forthcoming. England have got to stem the tide here at the moment because Italy are on top right now, and England are giving them plenty of space and plenty of possession. Insigne. That's going to go all the way through towards Jordan Pickford. But England have got to keep a lid on this, and Pickford is far from happy. So what do England do? What do they have to change?
I think for us, it's good play by the Italians. Sometimes you just got to hope to keep the saves in, and he did. So we just got to keep it going. Wait for those opportunities. Know they're going to have possession, but weather the storm and keep going.
Phillips with a lovely turn in the midfield. Finding Rice. Rice back for Maguire. Maguire chipping it forward towards Luke Shaw. Shaw over the top, and it's an excellent run from Mason Mount. Are England going to get a corner out of it? Yes, they are. This Mount's pressure just forced Di Lorenzo to play it. And it's gone over the line and out of play for an England corner, which is their first of the second half, that will be taken over on the left-hand touchline.
Yeah, fantastic ball there by Shaw. Just felt it over the inside left position for Mount just to get on to, put the pressure on, turn the Italians around and force the corner. And just looking at that effort on Pickford's goal, the defenders are getting tight on Chiesa. Chiesa's opening the angle up, and they know full well they can't go near him. They've got to sit off and just try and get a block, so he'll go down very cheaply if they do.
Trippier to take this corner for England. Right-footed in, swinging delivery. Heads go up for it's over the bar. Good climb by Stones. Hit an Italian on the way through. And it's another corner. Well, John Stones doing well. There was a melee of players in front of him. An excellent jump and was going over anyway, but Donnarumma helped it on its way. Got his fingers to it. Flicked it over the bar and out of play for another corner. Kane battling, trying to get free around the penalty spot. He makes a little near post run. Ball swept in, headed away easily by Bonucci that time. Shaw will bring it down. And will go all the way back for his goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford, in front of the goal where our England correspondent Faye Carruthers is sitting. Faye, what's Jordan been moaning about? Who's he really been directing his ire and wrath to?
It's been Kyle Walker. He called him over and they were almost on the halfway line just before that corner was taken. All about Chiesa. He wants his defenders to be stopping those kind of runs coming in. There was a full-on debate going on for a good 30 seconds or so. Meanwhile, to my left, you've got Sancho, Grealish and Marcus Rashford warming up, and this is around about the time that Gareth Southgate has made changes.
Yeah, we're 20 minutes or so into the second half. Just a shade under that. Shaw playing it forward here. It's rolled away from Mount's run into the hands of Donnarumma, at the edge of his penalty area, and it's fluorescent yellow tonight. England have had the lead in this game for more than an hour. They've got another 25 minutes to successfully navigate to be crowned champions of Europe. Italy playing the ball down the right-hand side. Possession now, second half, up in the mid-70s for Italy. Verratti down towards Emerson. Chiellini making his way forward. Back he goes for Verratti again. Chiesa and Berardi both lurking with intent around the edge of the penalty area. The ball is played deeper than that, out towards Di Lorenzo. Shaw tracking back, trying to stop Berardi finding a way through. Emerson also there as an additional striker now from left back at times. Everybody apart from Donnarumma camped in England territory. Jorginho's 20 yards outside the penalty area. Little ball into feet and it's returned immediately. Back for Bonucci to Verratti faced up by Raheem Sterling, who doesn't engage. Stands, allows Verratti to play it past him. Chiesa's right-footed ball in, and needed defending. Cristante coming around the back, and Harry Maguire had to throw himself at it to help it away over the bar. It's going to be a long last 25 minutes so the way that England are playing to corner to Italy.
I tell you what, if anyone's going to unlock the English defence, it's Chiesa. He is the one who looks a real threat, and I'll tell you what, that was some defensive header by Maguire. Could have comfortably put it in his own goal, just helped it on, glanced it on its way.
First corner of the second half for Italy, a left-footed in, swinging towards the near post. Cristante with a touch, Stones, it's off the post to put it in, and it is 1-1. It's Bonucci with the equalising goals. A ball ricocheted around inside the 6-yard box. England unable to deal with the set piece. They've led for an hour, but they're back to square one. It's all tied up again. Italy won, England won, and it's the veteran forward for the back, Bonucci, with a goal that breaks England hearts. What a piece.
Yeah, it's really important now we have cool heads. I'm sure Gareth and Stevie Holland, are we talking through this? Do we need to change it? The momentum's with the Italians. They've penned us in somewhat. The goalkeeper just trying to scoop it out. I've got to say, Pickford made a wonderful save down low to keep the first one out. It's hit the post, and the follow-up from Bonucci over the line.
Yeah, it was a Verratti diving header tipped onto the post. It came back out. Bonucci couldn't miss. 1-1 Sol.
The actions, they were just lively in the box. It's a shame that Pickford couldn't tip that round the post.
So a quarter of normal time remaining. One apiece. Another test of character here for England.
Certainly will. I think the interesting situation will be, what do? Do we make changes? Do we not? Are we happy with the formation as we stand? And at present, the Italians have got their tails up, they're passing it well, and they're sniffing blood.
England have still only had 2 attempts in the game since Luke Shaw scored. Italy have had 13. Insigne playing it forward for Emerson, making his way forward now. Emerson trying to take on Trippier. Checks, turns back the other way. Insigne now towards the edge of the penalty area. Opportunity for Chiesa. Chiesa on the edge of the box. Plenty of white shirts back. Chiesa trying to get away from Luke Shaw. Fires it in, nobody there, and it goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the England line. With the best will in the world, it did feel for the 5-6 minutes or so leading up to the goal that it was coming. England had to regroup now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I felt as though a goal was coming. There was certainly an immense amount of pressure coming, and they just happened to be in the right place at the right time to nudge it over the line. But listen, it was never ever going to be easy. It's important we just relax a bit. We've shown in time gone by that we are relentless. We can see games out, and we just need to find a way of getting some possession of the ball back.
Leonardo Bonucci scored against Germany in the quarterfinals in 2012. His only ever goal at a major tournament prior to today. He's now, with this appearance tonight, overtaking Gigi Buffon, has played more games in the Euros for Italy than anybody else in history. And he's just supplied the decisive blow there. One apiece. So 20 minutes to go. Italy 1, England 1.
What we got to understand, Jim, the game is still drawn at present. It is not as if we've gone behind in the game.
No, of course. Emerson, Verratti, he himself came so close. Storming a march on Mason Mount in behind him. England are going to make a change very shortly. Bukayo Saka is the first player that's going to be introduced, and in fact that change will be made now. And it's Saka for Trippier, who comes off on this near touch line. Saka will go on the far side, so that you would imagine will be a change of shape, and England will go back to the team that started in the semi-finals.
I think Saka coming on is going to give us a massive lift. You know, he's going to come on, no fear, just need him to keep him running, find those spaces, and try to find those spaces behind the Italian back four.
England have to try and do something to get onto the front foot. I think this will be a make or break scenario, Jim. I really do. I don't think it will pan out average, if you like, you know. I've got a feeling it's going to open up more space for the Italians to work at, but it also might fall in our favour with Saka and Sterling running at the opposition.
1-1. Phillips nibbling away at Verratti. Maybe caught him. The referee allows play to go on. Bonucci to Chiellini. Shaw on 2 minutes, Bonucci on 67. 1-1 here at Wembley with 19 minutes of normal time remaining. Marco Verratti has it again now. Verratti playing it forward into the feet of Lorenzo Insigne. It's then ricocheted off Calvin Phillips, and Jordan Pickford's going to be entitled to pick that one up.
We've just seen, myself and Sol, just seen an example of the back four in comparison to the back five. Walker going in with Insigne and Emerson running beyond him, but as luck happens the ball didn't arrive. But
he didn't see it.
Exactly that.
He's in.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the difference between a 4 and a 5.
Risk and reward balance always so finely poised, and England just trying to get something the more attacking nature out of bringing Saka on and making the positional changes at the back. Saka can't get past Emerson this time. Emerson, who hardly saw any action at all for Chelsea, particularly in the Premier League over the course of the season. Only 91 minutes of league action. He didn't start at all. He made a couple of starts in the triumphant Champions League run. He did score that very memorable goal against Atletico Madrid.
I think this game is going to serve our team really well in the future. Whatever the outcome is, it's a great learning curve. We're being asked a lot of questions technically in this game, a lot of questions morally and couragely. Can we stay in the game? Can we wrestle momentum back? All of those questions are being asked now by a very good Italian side.
Verratti takes the throw. It's back towards Bonucci. Bonucci goes long over the top, right foot in. Oh, Pickford came off his line and didn't get there. And it was a fantastic run onto it from Berardi, who lobbed it over. Pickford had to hit it first time and he couldn't keep the pace off it, and it's flown over the bar. Pickford coming out then had to make sure he didn't make any contact with Berardi, and England have got away with it.
Yeah, personally speaking, I think that Pickford should have come out and read it and taken it off of his toes.
Henderson for Rice is the next England change.
I'm a little bit surprised by that. I think Declan's been outstanding tonight and he's been a big part of stopping the Italians.
What's your take on that change, Sol?
I would have just kept him on. I think that it's the midfield that decided to really control the midfield, and that's the problem. They're starting an attacks and really probing and sucking us out. We need another guy in there.
Stones plays it forward here for England. It's 1-1. Italy the better side, particularly in this second half. Phillips in there very strongly. Referee allows play to go on again. Verratti, Saka just nudging in to try and get it away. Chiesa can turn it forward though. Insigne towards the edge of the penalty area, and England get a touch in. It was Walker nudged it out of the path of Berardi and got it back to his goalkeeper Pickford.
We've got to get out. Got to get out. They're pushing us. We've got to get out. We've got to get the possession.
That possession has been so hard to come by, particularly in this second half.
You've got to give a lot of credit to the Italians. They're playing at a real high tempo, give and goes, great movement.
And Insigne's got it now, winning it back towards Chiesa. Chiesa corner of the penalty area. Chiesa trying to take on Kyle Walker, can't beat him, who then just gets it away. Finds Saka. Saka plays it forward. It hits Saka's hand, but only after the ball had gone out of play, and has actually been given as a throw to Italy. A throw which Verratti will take. And the game as a whole, 13 attempts to 3 in Italy's favour, 64% possession. Second half, 7 attempts to 2. And the 67% of the ball they've had, a lot of it, the vast majority of it, has been in England territory. But it's still 1-1. 15 minutes of the final to go. Extra time on the cards. Here's Marco Verratti. And Verratti will bring it forward. Lays it through the midfield. Chiesa with a clever ball for Berardi's run. It looks so much better with Berardi on. Once Immobile went off and Maguire getting the ball at his feet, has just chipped it out of play for a throw that Chiellini will take, and he's screaming at the ball girl away to our right hand side to give him a ball as quickly as possible so that he can restart play almost instantly. Insigne laying it back for Bonucci. 1-1 with 14 left. Verratti down to his left hand side for Chiellini, the captain. Play forward into the feet of Chiesa. Chiesa under pressure from his opposite number 14 Phillips. Lays it back into the midfield area for Jorginho. Jorginho to Verratti inside the centre circle. Now Chiesa's got it again. Phillips can't put a challenge in. Insigne comes to take over. Tries to get it away from Jordan Henderson and succeeds. Back for Bonucci. Bonucci down to the Italian left-hand side for Chiellini. Playing with the centre-half split really wide now. It's easy possession for the Italians. No real counter-attacking threat from England because they can't get the ball. And when they can play it forward, all 11 are so deep that there isn't an outlet for them to try and hit. Chiellini playing it down towards Emerson. Back for Chiellini again. Chiellini towards the edge of the centre circle for Marco Verratti. Henderson, the most advanced of the England players. Kane obediently tried to put the pressure on Jorginho, but he looks a tiring force now, Harry Kane. Verratti, play for Chiesa, it's lost out. Play back towards Kane. Kane with a neat little turn. Henderson should be able to get to the loose ball first, although Chiellini wanted to get there ahead of Saka. Now Maguire takes over. Maguire's giving it away. The referee says no, he was fouled. Free kick to England on the edge of the centre circle with 13 left at 1-1.
Saka's come into the game and it's almost a baptism of fire for him. He just can't get up to speed with the game. I think when players have got the ball, he's either got to show the feet or go in behind a definitive movement just to help out, because the team at the moment are looking for some inspiration.
England are going with Maguire. Maguire will bring it forward into Italian territory and was fouled. And make sure the referee realised that contact had been made by Jorginho. It's a free kick that England are going to take about 4 or 5 yards into Italian territory. Shaw with a very early goal for England, who led for more than an hour. Bonucci becoming the oldest man ever to score in a Euros final. Bundling in after Verratti header had been tipped onto the post midway through the second half. Verratti himself involved here has fouled Saka, and it's a free kick that will be taken by England in Italian territory. England just needing a moment of inspiration, needing a good set piece, needing something, just needing possession around the edge of the Italian box.
What we need, Jim, is exactly what we've seen. Harry Maguire running past someone and being brought down, breaking the tempo of the game. Same with Saka, picked it up, drove past, drew a foul. All of a sudden we've taken the sting out of the Italians and said, no, you go back and defend.
Calvin Phillips and Bukayo Saka, the two players who stand over this free kick for England. Phillips has taken it and he's laid it back behind square for Shaw. Shaw will ping it forward. Maguire have made a run towards the far post. It's headed away easily though by Chiellini. Down through the midfield towards Verratti. Saka initially stopped the ball finding Chiesa, but only initially. And Chiesa's going to be able to make his way forward. He's beaten Saka. He's trying to beat Walker. Phillips comes to aid the defensive cause, and then eventually England win a free kick. And Chiesa stays down on the edge of the penalty area. He was claiming that he should have had a free kick in a very advanced position, but he's down hurt here. But he is the danger man. He's so quick. And he puts the afterburners on. England is struggling to deal with it.
He's so quick and he's so confident. You'd see how he's going to try to draw the foul, come inside. He's definitely top of his game. He's had a wonderful tournament. We've just got to watch him out. If he comes inside, you can really let it go.
I tell you what, where we are now, we're in Las Vegas, we're at a poker game, and you've put your house, your car and all your money on the table head to head, and that's where this game is poised at present. It really is. Can go either way.
It's a knife edge.
It certainly is. It looks as though we're going to bound into extra time potentially, but well, who knows.
So is the balance right? I don't know, you're not missing anything. Chiesa's still down receiving treatment. Is the balance right? Or do England need to be even more proactive? They've still got Grealish on the bench, for instance, that they can call upon. Would that be suicidal to bring another more attacking player on?
I think at this moment we've got to be potentially, if we can, proactive with the personnel we have on the pitch. The next change for me will potentially be Mason Mount, but as what I'm seeing at the moment, if we can get the ball to Saka, get the ball to Sterling, encourage them to turn the opposition around. But the Italians they're full of it at the moment.
The possession they're having now, the power play they're having now in good positions, they're trying to kind of work that angle, waiting for that moment, waiting for someone to kind of not fall asleep, but just be in the wrong position, slightly in the wrong position, so they can see it, so they can pass it and cause a problem. We've just got to make sure we're in good positions and don't lose it.
Those are the thoughts of Sol Campbell, Stuart Pearce before him. Let's go pitch side to our England correspondent Faye Carruthers. Faye?
As Jordan Pickford just picks up a towel and wipes his face. Chiesa back up to his feet now, finally, after some treatment from his medical staff. Interesting debates going on the field at the moment between Pickford and Stones, and then Walker's having a chat with Saka as well, and he earlier had a chat with Sterling too. They're not happy. The body language of these England players at the moment is not great.
Well, Jordan Pickford is just having a row with one of the Italian medical staff. Chiesa is being helped away.
Not coming off.
Well, if he is coming off, I'll be absolutely delighted. He's been a real thorn in our side, certainly the second half and potentially a lot of the first half as well.
Are you concerned about Jordan Pickford's body language, the fact that he's looking stressed, he's looking very highly strung? I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the stakes of what a big game it is, but just having a row there with a member of the Italian medical staff doesn't, on the outside of it, seem to be any need for that.
I always prefer my goalkeeper to be steely, ice cold in there, nice and relaxed. Probably used to playing with Dave Seaman and people of that ilk. But that's the way Jordan plays. He plays at high revs and almost in a highly strung state.
So Chiesa's going to hobble back onto the field, accompanied by boos from the England supporters. Shaw plays it forward out towards the left-hand touchline for Mason Mount. Bernardeschi is ready to come on for Italy if Chiesa can't continue. Shaw now out towards Mount, left-hand side of the penalty area, he's brought it back. Oh, it hit Saka, he couldn't get it under control. Chiellini slams it away. Finds Maguire. That was better from England. Phillips. Down towards Walker. Walker back for Phillips again. England perhaps just sensing for a moment that without the pace of Chiesa, who's still hobbling away, and without him being able to come back and cover, this is just a little part of the game where they have to try and be proactive and get on the front foot ahead of the Italians making a change. I'm sensing that they're carrying one at the moment. Henderson finding Walker. Walker into the feed off Bukayo Saka. Saka laying it back for Phillips, who couldn't find Henderson, but Phillips was fouled. Free kick to England, 20 yards outside the penalty area.
Yeah, England have just got the ascendancy now, which is, it's almost like the Rocky films, Jim, isn't it? You know, we've soaked up all the Italian blows, and now all of a sudden we're starting to throw a bit of leather ourselves.
But who's classed as Apollo Creed? Insigne's gone in the book. He won't be fighting at heavyweight anytime soon, but pound for pound, one of the best that there is. But he's just picked up a yellow card for that foul on Calvin Phillips.
I'm not sure about Mr. T, but I've got Mr. S to my left here, who looks as though he can throw the odd bit of leather as well.
I mean, the guys need to get their heads on this one.
Italy defend the high line outside the penalty area, and it comes from Mount. Heads go up for it. It's Stones that attacked it back out towards Shaw, who couldn't replicate his early finish, and that one's ballooned over the bar past the Leicester City flag just down away to our right, and out of play for a goal kick. 5 minutes, maybe another 5 minutes of stoppage time after that. Italy are going to make a change. No surprise that it's Chiesa who's coming off, and Bernardeschi is indeed the man who's going to come on to replace him. Started against Wales, came off the last 15 minutes as a left winger against Spain. He's been used as a fullback at times by Pirlo at Juventus this season. He started 8 league games in the whole campaign. And he will come on here to replace Chiesa with 5 minutes of normal time remaining. So Bernardeschi for Chiesa, and we haven't seen the back of him, to be perfectly honest with you, because he's been a menace.
Absolutely delighted he's gone off. He has had a very strong game, and it's only injury that's taken him off the pitch.
Bernardeschi, a very tidy replacement mind. 1-1 in the 86th minute. Verratti has the ball inside the D, away to our right-hand side. You're with Talk Sport, and a reminder that from 11 tonight, your chance to react on national radio to the final, to the whole Euro 2020 campaign for England. 08717 223344. Andy Goldstein and Jason Cundy taking your calls on the Sports Bar here on Talk Sport tonight. Bonucci, the score of the equalising goal, plays a through ball that missed everybody. Bernardeschi's actually started as the central striker, with Insigne going back out to the left, Berardi on the right. Got the option of bringing Belotti, a more orthodox striker, on if deemed necessary. And we've got an interloper who's come onto the field, the ball at the feet of John Stones, and this idiot has made his way on. He's caught in a game of cat and mouse with a steward, not knowing that one's coming in from his blind side, but it was a good injection of pace from the interloper who made his way past the first steward, and I tell you something, if you get caught now in a game of cat and mouse, it's going to hurt. And he's got past him again, and then he's wrestled to the ground, and he's now surrounded by three, and he's got out. Come on boys, sort it out. It's a game of football to be played here. Now he's run out of steam, and they have got him and apprehended him, and the fine will be a substantial one. What it has given actually is England another period just to regroup and consider what they might be able to do. 3 minutes to go of normal time. Italy 1, England 1. It's tense, it's fraught, it's frenetic at times. And England need more of the ball, and they need it in better areas. It's going to be a drop ball here. The referee just restoring possession. Stones had it when the pitch invader came on. And now Maguire's going to be able to bring it away, and just as though he turned down a blind alley for a moment, lays it back for Pickford. Pickford to Stones. Stones able to come out from the back, driving it forward, right-footed. Saka going up for it, diving header away from Emerson. Goes out of play for a throw that will be taken on the England right-hand side. Saka leaving it for Walker. Walker takes it, goes back for Stones. Night long since fallen here in North London. The rain has abated. Still the most significant moment of the night, and the tournament lies ahead of us. Sterling, might he be able to provide it? Darting inside the penalty area and still going. He's brought it back, but only after he'd run out of room. The Italians tracking him, and he just let the ball run out of play for a goal kick before he could try and deliver a cross. 90 seconds of normal time to go, 1-1.
Yeah, good charging run there by Sterling. Strikes fear into the heart of the defending back line. No one dare touch him.
An encouraging moment. And that's exactly what England need. That kind of dynamism. We haven't seen it too often. Verratti playing it back for Bonucci. And Bonucci midway between the edge of his own penalty area and the edge of the centre circle. Just plays it down towards Chiellini. Back for Bonucci. Almost sold him short. Mount chasing after it, trying to put the pressure on, but Italy retain possession easily enough. Verratti has it now. We're in the 90th minute. Verratti squeezing it forward through the midfield towards the tall figure Cristante, but he's lost out to Calvin Phillips. Goal for either side now will all but win it. Sterling over on the left-hand touchline for England. Sterling darting inside, trying to draw the challenge, and the foul of Verratti wasn't forthcoming. He won it cleanly. Italy will try and break quickly with Bernardeschi. Bernardeschi taking it out towards the right-hand touchline. Jordan Henderson coming across to impede his progress. Eventually goes out of play for a throw, and a throw has been given England's way. Luke Shaw will take it in front of the substitutes over on the far touchline. How many extra minutes will we have to play? Carlos Tercero Grande, the Spanish fourth official, about to put the numbers board up. It's going to be a fair few.
Between now and when this game's decided, Jim, sometimes you need skill, sometimes you need talent. It's just pure guts now and willpower.
6 minutes of stoppage time. Sterling, is he pulled back? Yes, he was. Free kick to England. That's a free kick that will be taken 15 yards inside Italy's half. Phillips motioning that he wanted to take it quickly. No real danger of that being the case. Shaw stands with his left foot over the top of the ball. Maguire makes his way forward. Henderson is there as well. Stones, hands on hips, breathing heavily. Also one of those that will try and attack this delivery. England supporters around the stadium have tears in their eyes. It's just been one of those nights already. Kane is in there, high ball in from Shaw. Maguire attacking, good header back across the edge of the penalty area. Stones couldn't get on the loose pickings, and then when the ball fell for Saka, Verratti was judged to have been fouled. And it's a free kick given away by Henderson, which Italy will take just outside their own penalty area. 4.5 minutes of stoppage time to go, 1-1.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's England on the front foot now. England pressing. The Italians look as though they're happy to go all the way to extra time now. It'll be interesting to see which one of the teams blink first.
Verratti lays the ball square through the midfield in terms of changes. England still have 3 left. If it goes into extra time, that'll be 4. Still have the likes of Sancho and Grealish and Rashford and Calvert-Lewin to bring on as striking options if necessary. Jude Bellingham as well. The Italian cross on the right flank is away from everybody in the penalty area. Walker did well to deal with Insigne. England play out with Henderson. Too much on that for Saka. Chiellini came out, took everything up, swept everything up. Saka did rather hurdle the challenge and get out of the way, but it's an England throw. Be taken in front of us by Kyle Walker, and he finds John Stones. Stones back for Pickford with 3.5 minutes before extra time. Long ball play forward over the top. Oh, back, a little back header from Bonucci, who wasn't aware just where Sterling was, but he did get enough on it at the right angle to find his goalkeeper Donnarumma. It's 1-1 in stoppage time on TalkSport.
The 2 actions there by the central defenders of Italy. Firstly, Chiellini coming and dealing with a potential counter-attack. Secondly, Bonucci's back header, very talented.
Emerson, shown inside by Kyle Walker, lays it back for Verratti. Emerson's got it again. Calvin Phillips and Saka sandwiched him. Loose ball still in Italy's domain, back with Verratti. Verratti lays it back for Bonucci inside the centre circle. Bonucci chips it, left-footed, diagonal, down towards the touchline for Insigne. Chiellini takes over. Verratti now. Bernardeschi wanted the ball into feet, made a darting run forward, then comes back out. No defenders really followed him. England keeping their shape. 2.5 minutes of stoppage time to go before we head for extras. Chiellini still making his way forward. 112th international appearance for him tonight. Back for Verratti. Verratti doesn't go back to the 35-year-old. He's found Jorginho instead, who picked up that knock at the end of the first half, but has been able to run it off and is seemingly absolutely fine. Goes back to the goal scorer Bonucci. Bonucci to Verratti. Verratti chipping it down to the touchline for Insigne. And Lorenzo Insigne will come in off the left flank and lay it back for Marco Verratti again. Saka sliding in, stopping the ball, getting towards the edge of the box. Henderson poking it forward. Kane just trying to help it back to him. And Italy will be able to build once more. 2 to go. Goal for Italy now will kill England off surely. England just have to make sure that they're regimented and tight, that they keep the shape, they don't allow Italy a way through. And a chance to bring fresh legs off the bench, potentially to change things in extra time. Verratti going back for Bonucci. Bonucci rolling his studs over the top of the ball. Still got every England player between him and goal. Play forward now down towards the right-hand side. Bernardeschi waiting in the middle if they can get it across. Little loop on the cross. Walker chests it back and away from the post, and Pickford was on the same wavelength and got it. And then it's whacked upfield. Mount will chase after it, but too much on it from Pickford. And Donnarumma could backpedal into his own penalty area, pick up possession and bowl it out again. And we've got a minute to go. 1-1 the scoreline. Jorginho, right-footed. That's a good ball over the top. Calvin Phillips did really well. Phillips stretching out and got a right foot to it. Henderson calming things down, goes back for Walker. And Walker again firing it forward. Kane will try and make something of it. Just gave Bonucci a little bang after Bonucci won it in the air. I don't think the referee saw that. Bonucci is still down on his haunches. Play goes on. Henderson poking it forward. Saka chasing down the touchline. Oh, pulled back by Chiellini. And that's a yellow card. And he hasn't denied an obvious goal-scoring opportunity because it's right out on the touchline, but Saka was away from it. And that was professional with a capital P from Chiellini.
When Chiellini comes out the centre, he is going to take everything, isn't he? If he don't get the ball first. Well,
professional foul to the highest degree.
He's clotheslined him there, hasn't he? He really has.
Saka's done well to get him inside though. Done really well.
I just feel as though we need a little bit more from him. He's struggled to get in the game a touch, hasn't he?
They're getting tight to him as well, you know.
They are.
Well, we've had Rocky in the second half. There was a touch of WWE about Chiellini there. In comes the free kick from Phillips. Phillips hitting it across And away from the edge of the penalty area, it's headed out by the Italians, and with 90 minutes gone, we still are no closer to knowing. How are your nerves? Extra times to come. It's Italy 1, England 1 in the final. Well, Italy are going to make a change, and it is going to be Belotti who is going to be coming on. At times, this Italian job for England had felt like the Self-Preservation Society, but will England be able to go and blow the doors off at the other end? We've talked consistently, Stuart. Remember, in the pre-tournament friendlies in Middlesbrough, we're talking about the depth of the squad, and you said this is a squad game like never before. Well, this is an opportunity to demonstrate that it's a squad game like no other opportunity we've had within the tournament, really, because England still have attacking ammunition on the bench. But will they be able to use it? The change, Belotti for Insigne. We're back underway. England in all white, kicking from right to left. Italy blue shirts, black shorts. Verratti charging down a clearance from Stones. Goes out of play for an England throw. Do England not gamble, but do England try and take the game to Italy?
Well, if you sit back, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't at this stage. I just saw Bellingham have a real intensive warm-up. I wonder whether Bellingham, I'd like to see a touch more from Mason Mount. He's finding it difficult to get into the game a little bit. Touch more from Saka as well, if possible.
Italy have a free kick, and it'll be taken about 10 yards inside the England half. Possession has been theirs on a very consistent basis from the first whistle. Possession. Now with Bonucci, the scorer of the Italian goal midway through the second half, after Jordan Pickford did well to react to tip of Verratti header onto the post. Bonucci was there to gobble up the rebound. Luke Shaw has scored England's goal very early on. And the Italians with Bernardeschi try to win a corner, but he was offside. And it's a free kick that'll be taken. Jordan Henderson's down hurt as well. A free kick that'll be taken over on that far touchline by England. Just to reiterate the situation with subs, because we've gone into extra time, you can make 6 changes. You can make them at 4 junctures within the playing time. So England have the opportunity to bring on another 4, but they can only do it in 2 changes midway through the half-time and extra time. Doesn't count as one of those junctures. So still plenty of opportunities to roll the dice. Pickford plays it, takes it forward. Calvin Phillips is losing out to Belotti. The tall striker has done well. His long legs to the ball there ahead of Henderson. It's played over the top for a run, and Maguire in heading it away got caught there. It's a dangerous play. The boot was raised, an immediate apology from Berardi. It was there for him to try and attack it, but he did catch Maguire. It's a free kick which will be taken by England on the edge of their own penalty area. 2.5 minutes gone in extra time. It's Italy 1, England 1. Pickford knocks it outside the penalty area towards Stones from the free kick. Forward towards Walker. Walker to Saka, who, as the guys are saying, hasn't really been able to get into the game so far. That's very neat and tidy from the 19-year-old. He's become the youngest player ever to play for England in a major final. 4 from Maguire there. Mason Mount. Mount has got Sterling making a run ahead of him. He's got Shaw forward in support as well. England lacking the dynamism about their attacking play that brought them that very early goal. But they have an opportunity now with the potential for a long throw, which is, by the time Bjorn Campos is told Shaw to retreat, going to be about 10 yards away from the edge of the box. Locatelli will be coming on shortly for Italy. Shaw takes a throw into the feet of Phillips and straight back out of play again. Still a ragged nature to some of what England's doing with 27 minutes of extra time to go. 1-1.
And it does make you think whether it's worth freshening up for England. They do look very, very fatigued at present.
Still call upon Grealish and Rashford and Sancho. Calvert-Lewin, a different type of striker to Harry Kane, of course. Jude Bellingham, as Stuart was saying, has been go through an intense workout and readiness perhaps for his introduction.
I can tell you one player who won't be coming off, Harry Kane. With his expertise on penalties, Jim, I don't think that'll be happening this evening.
No, I'm sure. Chiellini and Bonucci exchange passes again. It's 15 yards outside the Italian penalty area. 94 on the clock here at Wembley, 1-1. Italy taken to extra time as they were on Tuesday, England as they were on Wednesday, although England at this stage of the match against Denmark very much the dominant force and found the breakthrough just before half-time in extra time. Italy taking all the way to penalties. Bonucci, high one pinged over the top, out comes Pickford, catches it comfortably. Luke Shaw had done well to defend the run of Belotti. Berardi, I beg your pardon, and Pickford will bowl it out and find Stones. Stones gets it back immediately, hurriedly from Calvin Phillips, who this time gets the instruction to turn and heeds it, plays it down towards Luke Shaw. Shaw just inside his own half, forward towards Mason Mount. Block challenge comes in from Belotti. Now it will come down the left hand side of the air for Sterling. It's Raheem Sterling, wins the corner. Chiellini coming across, blocked the cross. Harry Kane was waiting, corner to England in extra time, 1-1.
Well, a real loose, well, it's a challenge really that ended up going to Henderson. Henderson found Sterling and he just couldn't get a decent cross away. Good recovery.
Shaw will come across to take this. Italy are going to make a change though before the corner, which is not something you would ordinarily do. Locatelli though much taller than Verratti, who is replacing, and that might well be part of the thinking for doing it right now. Locatelli coming on. It's a straight swap in the midfield. Shaw to take this corner. 96 gone. 1-1. In it comes from Shaw, and away swinger, heads go up for it. It was headed away out as far as Phillips, back through a crowd, and just wide. Struck it so sweetly, chested it down onto his right foot through a crowd of players, and Donnarumma was just praying that it was going to go wide of his post. It did, and it remains one apiece.
Yeah, he never called it properly, just cut across the ball a little bit, and I think he knew when it left his foot. Just hoping for a deflection to divert onto the target.
Yeah, some way wide, actually. Donnarumma may have had it covered. 1-1. Almost midway through the first half of extra time here on TalkSport.
Well, my checklist in front of me. Everything's been ticked at the moment, apart from the last one, win a penalty shootout.
Well, then lots of talk about the potential that this game could go to penalties. No side has ever won two penalty shootouts within the same European Championship. The Swiss knocked France out on penalties. The Swiss then knocked out by Spain on penalties. The Spaniards knocked out by Italy on penalties, and you can see where I'm going with that, but we've got still 20 odd minutes to go. Penalty's not earned yet. Here's Di Lorenzo, right hand side of the penalty area. Low ball in towards the near post is knocked away well and put out of play for a throw which will be taken on the near touchline. Donnarumma, remembers, never conceded twice in the same game in his 33-match international career for Italy. Can England make that happen? Throw to be taken by Di Lorenzo on the Italian right. Back from him to Jorginho. Jorginho to Chiellini, who's waving everybody forward. He wants the fullbacks to push forward with more intent. Happy just to try and manoeuvre Italy into a position of supremacy numerically in more advanced areas upfield. Ball is played in here by Berardi. Berardi to Belotti. It's a nice turn, right-footed effort. Just blocked by Maguire, and Pickford scampers across. Gets his hands behind it after the ricochet to make sure it doesn't go out of play for a corner. Races to the edge of his penalty area and then bowls it out upfield. Finds Mason Mount on halfway, and Mount is brought down by Jorginho, and then the free kick is taken quickly. Too quickly for the referee, actually, because there's a change going to be made, and it is Mount who's coming off, and Jack Grealish will come on. Just over 20 minutes for Grealish to make an impression. Man that came on and was taken off 35 minutes later in the semi-finals. But it's a squad game. He's done his bit that day. Can he do his bit here? Grealish on for England. It's a rapturous applause with just over 20 minutes to go.
Well, the scene is set. If you're going to have an impact in a game, this is the one. A really, really big build-up. Fans are desperate for him to do well. We all are. And what he's got to do is get with the speed of the game, because this is ferocious at present.
England take the free kick with Maguire, and he squeezed it through. Luke Shaw. Ball came in, took a deflection. Was there an elbow there from Chiellini towards Kane on the edge of the penalty area? Then a challenge on Phillips on the edge of the box. He stayed down as well. Saka to Shaw. Cross takes a deflection, is cleared. England applying the pressure as Italy cleared a halfway. Maguire goes all the way back for Pickford. And that's the invitation that the Italian defence needs to push forward 25 yards outside their own penalty area. There is no immediate ball back over the top from England to try and turn it. Kane and Phillips both back on their feet after being in the wars on the edge of the box moments ago. Now it's going to be played out towards the England right. We're back towards Stones. Stones finds his goalkeeper once more. 100 on the clock at 1-1. Pickford, left-footed, 60-yard ball upfield. Harry Kane going up for it with Bonucci. Flying header from Locatelli in the midfield, and an offside flag is up against Berardi. Against Belotti. I beg your pardon. It's a free kick which will be taken by England just inside their own half. So
I think now is, we just got to keep on probing. We're playing halfway line now. We've got the Italians back. We've just got to keep going, keep probing. Something's going to happen.
Shaw to Grealish. Can he make it happen? He's running at Bonucci, who's on a yellow card. He's inside the penalty area. Fleet of foot as always, Jack Grealish. Little backheel flick for Saka. Doesn't get it into his stride, and a promising opportunity comes to nothing. Goes out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken by Donnarumma. But that's what England need to do. They need to get the ball to Grealish in that kind of area.
They certainly do. He offers a totally different dynamic. He holds the ball, he carries it, he draws fouls, and just what we need at the moment. Very unfortunate there. Little back heel and Saka. Just a double ricochet and just overrun it slightly.
What England need is another 104th minute penalty. Here's Kane. Throw taken a little bit too quickly. In fact, on the wrong team. England thought it was their ball. It was taken immediately into the chest of Kane, but has been given the other way. And it's going to be an Italian throw just inside England territory. 3 minutes left in this first period of extra time at 1-1. Bradford, Sol Campbell, Stuart Pearce, Mark Saggers and Faye Carruthers all talking through the action here at Wembley, where nerves are frayed, the tension is fraught, fingernails have been bitten down to the quick, players visibly and understandably tiring, but who will be able to keep their nerve? One apiece.
I think what the players need now, they need a crescendo from the terraces to drive the team on. They really do. The fans are just, I think, nervous in their own way.
And that's understandable as well. But the mass ranks them. 60,000 in this crowd of 67,000 wanting England to win today. They're doing their best to get behind the team. Walker diving in, has lost it. Left-hand side of the area is fine. Pickford did well, got a hand to it, and then it goes wide and out of play for a goal kick. And it's another big save from Jordan Pickford, and another inquest between him and his defenders. Italian heads in hands look up to the heavens. It was another big moment. Kyle Walker beaten, diving in, one of the rare mistakes that he's made. The ball came in just away from Bernardeschi, and Pickford came out. He was unorthodox, he got something on it, and something was plenty good enough.
Quite bizarre the way Pickford's just turned his body and had a flailing arm at it, I think.
He just needed a touch. That was in.
Kyle Walker really unfortunate there. Went to ground. The old adage is if you go to ground you've got to win it. But it was unfortunate with the ricochet. His pace is just frightening.
1-1. Bonucci from Chiellini. We're in the final minute, just ticking into the final minute of this first period of extra time. Ball is Play down towards Berardi. Berardi to Di Lorenzo, the right back. Bonucci finds his centre-half partner Chiellini, who gets Italy going down the left-hand side again with Emerson, and the hymns from the England supporters are a little bit more vocal and audible now. Bernardeschi towards the edge of the box, away from Saka. Chance for Cristante to try and take it on the edge of the penalty area. Locatelli involved as well, and Phillips hammers it away. Anywhere will do for England. Kane chasing after the loose ball. Saka can't quite take it past Di Lorenzo. Kane, well, I thought he'd won it cleanly, and I thought that the referee initially made a hand gesture indicating that he'd won the ball, but has a free kick been given to Italy about 5 yards inside the England half. And Kane just has a few words with Bjorn Kampers. So one last chance for Italy. If they can get it forward quickly, as we go to 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of the first period of extra time. 1-1 the score. Down for Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo, nice and good ball forward down the right-hand side of the area. Locatelli, first time ball inside the box. Knocked away by Maguire, adjusted his feet, and then Grealish was fouled and almost reacted angrily, but a free kick will do for England in that position. They'll be in no hurry to take it, just get to the turnaround in extra time safely with the score still intact.
They've got to watch that ball, that kind of blindside ball inside. You know, they're all thinking that everyone's going wide, and they make that clever little ball inside. They got away with it this time.
Pickford to take this free kick. Football is coming home. Sing the fans. And hope rather than expectation on the strength of what we've seen, but the hope is very much alive. 2 Italian centre-halves both on yellow cards, but can England get opportunities to run at them? There's a handball, and it's a free kick to England, and it's 15 yards outside the penalty area. Is this a significant moment in the night, in the tournament, in the history? Shaw is the player that stands over him. The Italians are far from happy with the decision. Berardi still chuntering away as he comes back, and he is the one man in the wall. Everybody else, the other 9 outfield players, stand pretty much in a line across the edge of the penalty area. England with good invention from this kind of area ordinarily. This is right at the end of the first period of extra time. What can they muster? Can they get their noses in front? It's going to be Luke Shaw to deliver, right arm above his head. As he addresses the ball, now there's the movement. It's swung in very deep. Donnarumma's come a long way to meet it. It's headed back past him, but only after the whistle had gone. The referee didn't like the jockeying for position as the players were addressing the ball. No time to take the free kick. At half-time and extra time mark, it is still 1 apiece. Well, the script could be written for Jack Grealish. We talked about the fact that there are 2 Italian centre-halves on yellow cards. They've got 4 players on yellow cards altogether. England are going to make another change now, and Marcus Rashford is the player who will come on. So Rashford coming on, that is England's 4th change of the 6th that they are allowed. Just waiting for the number to come up and see who it is that he's replacing. Are they going to make the change now, or are they going to wait till the half is kicked off? If they wait till the half is kicked off, they can't make any further substitutions at any stage. And they are going to wait. Rashford's got his training top back on. Coming back underway, Italy blue shirts, black shorts, and they're kicking from right to left. England in all white. 15 minutes to go. 15 minutes for some inspiration. A moment of magic, a moment of despair perhaps. 15 minutes for either side to win it before it goes to penalties.
Yeah, I think Bellingham as well is over there. Looks as though he's priming himself. I don't know whether that's a penalty scenario as well. I think that's Bellingham anyway.
Well, a yellow card has been shown for a poor challenge on Belotti from behind by Harry Maguire. And he's the first England player to go in the book. It is actually his 3rd yellow card of the tournament, but the way that he's picked them up has been as such that he hasn't invoked a suspension at all. But this free kick's in a really dangerous position as far as Italy are concerned. England have got, they're going to have 4 in the wall. Kane is coming back. and will stand with Maguire and Stones. So just the three by the look of it as an England wall. The free kick is about 13 yards outside the penalty area, and it is very marginally right of centre. Bernardeschi's the player that stands over this. He's heavily tattooed neck and his yellow boots. Visible even from here. 1, 2, 3 and a half steps back and half a step to his right. He's going to try and strike this left-footed. Bernardeschi from distance. Good strike. Hot pick for Spilnit, but is able to gather before the rebound found its way to the nearest Azzurri shirt, and it remains 1-1 with 13 minutes to go.
Yeah, decent strike, good curl on it, but the goalkeeper got in line with it. Done enough.
Rashford stripped and ready for action. Sancho over there as well, I think, will be potentially called upon very shortly. England with a throw that Kyle Walker's going to take. Clock ticking down, 12 and a half to go in extra time. Walker edging his way forward. The cameraman on that touchline just keeps a respectful distance from him. Walker hurling the silver ball inside the penalty area. The heads go up for it's bounced awkwardly. Who can get a touch on it? Grealish with a shot that was blocked. Saka will try and take it up now. Inside the penalty area still. Comes back out for Kane and shipped it in. Oh, good goalkeeping, Donnarumma. He's just flicked it off the head of John Stones. And that was a nearly moment for England. Bernardeschi tries to bring it away. Calvin Phillips is in there. Saka then comes back. Wasn't fouled. Italy knock it away. Referee takes evasive action, and the Italians have got it forward towards halfway. And England have got to get their defensive shape back quickly. And Walker committed himself. The flag stayed down. Ball is played in and knocked away by Luke Shaw. And now the flag comes up. Well, it did look as though Belotti was offside. And as the flag goes up, and Pickford ends up with the ball in his hand, 3 England defenders. 1 sat down in the penalty area, 1 on his haunches, and 1 leaning over, gasping for breath. It's just been one of those nights. And the referee will go across and assess them all. 12 to go. It's 1-1.
I'm just looking at myself and Sola looking at the replay.
Just a touch
of the effort. Kane's put the most delightful ball in, and Stones has dived full stretched, brave as you like, and any skim or touch.
Inches. That's in. Inches. So unlucky.
Was that the Gaza moment on the stretch?
Hope not.
Well, I don't mind that being the Gaza moment as long as it doesn't all unfold from there here on in the same way that he did 25 years ago. 1-1 the scoreline with 11 minutes to go. Pickford launching it forward long. Kane going up for it. Beaten again in the air by Chiellini. Jordan Henderson has had a tough night at times tonight, and that was a loose touch. It's gone out of play for a throw which will be taken on the Italian left-hand side by Emerson. Emerson able to bring it forward. Emerson will play it past Stones, but Maguire's there to mop up for England, and we've got 10 and a half to go. 1-1 the scoreline. Shaw still no closer to knowing who it's going to be. Will it be Italy for the second time? England for the first. Crowned European champions. Stones down to the England right-hand side for Henderson. Walker making a run on the overlap past him. Back in field for Henderson again. Sterling wanted the ball into feet. Henderson's worked it deeper. Stones down to the England right-hand side for his club teammate Kyle Walker. Ball threatened to run away from him down towards the touchline, but he fielded it well. Plays it in towards Calvin Phillips. Phillips has got Belotti goal side of him. England are 20 yards inside Italian territory now with Luke Shaw. Shaw goes back to Maguire. All of the Italians are back behind the ball. In towards Jack Grealish. A buzz of expectation whenever he picks up possession. Grealish now riding a couple of challenges. Goes to his right. Sterling with a little layoff. Henderson in. Sterling trying to get it across. Sterling still got it. Chiellini sticks out a leg, and it was vital from his perspective that he got the ball and nothing of Sterling there, and he defended it well. But it was a close run thing. They launch it forward towards Belotti, can't get it to stick, and England will come again.
Fantastic interchange from England. England have got the ascendancy now. Need to keep driving on and asking questions.
It's Henderson for Grealish. Grealish towards the edge of the area. Getting away from one. Flicking to the outside of the right boot. Shaw didn't know whether to stick or twist, but neither did Di Lorenzo. And Italy eventually get it away from Saka. But the crowd noise tells you everything you need to know. England being roared on, and there is that little bit of hope. Keep believing. This could happen before penalties yet. 8.5 left. Walker's long diagonal ball. Slightly off target as he looked for Grealish. And again, Italy more than happy to clear their lines, and it goes out of play for a throw that England will take. Maguire's taken it. Goes back for Jordan Pickford. Back out for Harry Maguire again. Almost midway through this second period of extra time. Still 1-1. Stones. Finals have been settled right at the death before without the need for penalties. Most notably 1984 when 10 men of France profited with a very late Platini goal in extra time to win. Here's Walker, forward towards Henderson. Henderson finds Harry Kane. Kane trying to get away from Cristante. Lovely reverse ball finds Sterling. Sterling turned into trouble as he looked to survey his options, and Emerson got it away from him. And then the referee gives another free kick England's way. It's 20 yards outside the penalty area, and he's waving the medical staff on. Bjorn Kuipers is then involved in an immediate and vociferous argument with Chiellini. Well, England have this free kick and a really good chance to get it forward. Jack Grealish is the man, his face etched in pain, writhing around still on the floor. A yellow card is going to come out for the perpetrator of the challenge, who is also down injured. The ball initially had just been played in. Jorginho on the stretch trying to get there. Grealish in there as well. And it's the studs of Jorginho's right boot that have been planted right down on the inner thigh of Grealish. I mean, that's hurt. It's 2 inches away from hurting a lot more, but it has hurt. Grealish now sitting up, trying to get some breath into those lungs, and Jorginho will be booked.
Yeah. To be fair, if I'm going to give some form of credit to the Italian, he's gone in, he's gone studs up, he's got on top of the ball, but his foot slid off the ball. I don't think there was any real intent. So, do you? Or?
No, I think he's gone in studs, and he's got on the top of the ball, and it's skidding off onto his thigh. Definitely a yellow card for sure.
Yeah, I don't think any more than that though.
Well, Jorginho's back on his feet. He's received treatment, and he now receives the card as well. The fifth Azzurri player to be cautioned tonight in the book, along with Chiellini, Insigne, Bonucci and Barella. Grealish is okay. He's back on his feet as well, and is going to be able to continue. But another Italian change is in the post, but not just yet. First of all, they've got a free kick to defenders. Florenzi, I think, who will be the next player to be brought on. The player who plays as a right back or a right winger. Started his career as a right winger, but has steadily moved back as his career has gone on. Free kick to England then, another set-piece opportunity. Centre halves are forward, swung in. Donnarumma has come out and claimed it very well. What a fine goalkeeper he is. Taking one of his own teammates out in the process, but he came out, his handling was assured. Jorginho comes back on, Grealish is already back on, and the player that Donnarumma clattered into is back on his feet as well. Now we're into the final 5 of extra time, 1-1.
Yeah, disappointing free kick. We've put a couple of disappointing ones in. When you have them so straight as they were, you have to work an angle to put them in, otherwise it just tempts the goalkeeper.
Bonucci going square to his right hand side for Di Lorenzo. It would be Florenzi for Di Lorenzo, but the change that they're poised to make. Jordan Henderson in the midfield. Couldn't get her ahead of Bernardeschi, who recycles the ball down to the Italian left-hand side for Emerson. Emerson for Cristante. Cristante on halfway. Bonucci to Cristante, who will be able to bring it out of the centre circle to find Chiellini. Chiellini to Emerson. Walker tries to scamper forward to put pressure on Chiellini, but the ball's immediately gone. Cristante, the midfielder, to his right-hand side for Di Lorenzo, and back for Cristante again. Space on the Italian left-hand side for Emerson here, and that is the pass that they played, just angled down towards the left, chipped inside the area. Bernardeschi trying to take it on the turn, got a shot in, and Sting was taken out of it as it hit Stones, and Pickford prevents it going out of play for a corner. Pickford, always a hive of energy, and he picked up the ball and was running away. Like bath salts that have been put in a bath, just fizzing around here, there and everywhere, almost erratically through the penalty area. But he was just looking to see if there was a quick ball that was going to benefit England. There wasn't, so he's waiting for everybody to push upfield, and now he drives it left-footed with 3.5 minutes to go. Kane helping it on, Grealish going up for it. Saka will be able to pick up the pieces. He's got Locatelli with him. Saka taking it down towards the corner flag, tries to hit the byline and can't quite. Grealish is in there. Was he fouled? Goal kick is the verdict to the referee. No complaints from Grealish. And there's a high five between Donnarumma and Bonucci that another attack has been successfully repelled.
I'm looking at the two subs for England, and I'm thinking they're potentially a penalty taking subs. I really am. You've left it very, very late for them certainly to have impact, so
it's definitely looking at penalties. You never know. You've got to go. Keep going to the last seconds.
Yeah, I think Saka might be another one of those players who's come on and goes off again. I may be wrong.
Well, Florenzi is on for Italy, and he's replaced Emerson. He's going to come on at left back, which isn't his ordinary position. I would have assumed that in making that change they would switch Di Lorenzo's flanks and put Florenzi at right back, but Florenzi's come on at left back for now. Bonucci playing it down towards him, and Florenzi's nodded it on, and it will drift out of play and out for a throw, which will be taken on the England right. A double change imminent for England, which will be their last change, but they've still not made it yet. Ball play forward towards Saka. Saka's just knocked it behind Shaw, and it's gone out of play for a throw, which will be taken over on the Italian right. 2 minutes to go. Rashford and Sancho still wait. Just wonder whether the Italians might be able to keep possession for the last couple of minutes to stop these two coming on. Here's Chiellini. Chiellini played forward through the midfield for Jorginho. 118.5 on the clock. It's 1-1. Deep in extra time on TalkSport. Is it going to be England's night? Is it going to be an Italian celebration? Florenzi has the ball at his feet. No way back now. If either side score, it will be all over. Bonucci played forward towards Cristante. Cristante down towards Chiellini. Chiellini working down the left-hand touchline for Florenzi. Florenzi's ball in. It's hit. Jordan Henderson deflects away for the corner. I think England will make the change now because they might not get another chance. And Jordan Henderson, who came on, is one of the players who's going back off again. Rashford for Henderson is England's first change. Martin Marginson, the goalkeeping coach, just comes down and has a quick word with Rashford. The Rashford coming on, and Kyle Walker's also going off. So Sancho for Walker.
This is definitely penalties. This is get the best penalty takers on the pitch.
You're right, and taking Walker off now with a couple of minutes to go. Two more defensive players going off and 2 more attacking players coming on. This it really is. If these two boys are not taking penalties in the first 5, I'll be astounded. But we've got to defend the corner first, so.
Yep.
Absolutely that. So they've taken Walker off, and they've got to defend the corner, and there are 3 minutes of added time at the end of this period of extra time. We're in them now. It's going to be a left-footed ball swung in by Bernardeschi. Oh, it took a first contact flick off an Italian at the near post and missed everybody. That was mighty close. Italy still trying to work the ball in. Phillips can get it away. And for all the fact that England have just made a double substitution with penalties in mind, they very nearly didn't defend the set piece.
Well, we're playing with Rashford at right back at the moment in a back 4. We've got so many attack-minded players on the pitch, it's incredible. Probably 6. In fact, I'm only looking at 4 players who I think are defensive-minded.
So it's Rashford at right back, Stones and Maguire in the middle, Shaw at left back, Phillips anchoring the midfield, and then it's Sancho, Kane and Grealish, the forward 3, and Saka, Phillips and Sterling as a midfield three. Here's Bernardeschi for Italy. Rashford's defended that well. First examination at right back, and he's passing with an A-star. Because not only has he stopped Bernardeschi, but he's been able to flick it into him and out of play for an England throw. And there'll be match management like you've never seen here as England try and run the clock down. They've played their cards now. They're playing for penalties. And the England players will be happy to take yellow cards for time wasting if that is what is required here. It's going to be a throw that Rashford will take. 90 seconds of extra time to go. Bonucci plays it forward. Little header from Sancho. Saka back for Sancho. No England player can emerge with possession. Florenzi forward. Jorginho. Kane is back there trying to stop Locatelli turning. He can't. Now it goes down towards Di Lorenzo. Inside the centre circle. 75 seconds of stoppage time to go. Down the Italian left for Florenzi. Florenzi playing it back behind square for Cristante. Cristante to Jorginho, who scored the winning penalty in the shootout the other night. Di Lorenzo makes his way forward. Di Lorenzo out towards the Italian right again. Left-footed ball chipped inside the area, beats everybody, goes out of play for a goal kick. And that should, with 50 seconds to go, be just about that.
Well, I'm looking at Southgate and Holland in deep conflab at the moment. The list has come out the pocket. They're just running through potential takers. They would have done the practice on this. They've done the scenario in their head.
It's all about envisaging every possible circumstance and making them work for you when they arrive. Long ball play forward by Pickford. Kane helping it on. It'll be knocked away. Goes out of play for an England throw. And you never know. So many forward-minded players on the pitch. Is there one last chance to win it without the need for penalties? Grealish taking the throw. Back for Saka. Saka to Calvin Phillips. Phillips has the last touch of the final. And we will go to penalties. Penalties have been such an integral part of England's history. Inevitable, I suppose, that spot kicks would decide this first European Championship final in which the three lions have participated. 1-1 after 90, 1-1 after 120, and the penalty shootout is to come. While it is Italy that will take the first in this penalty shootout, England have won their last two penalty shootouts, and you need just to put the likes of Turin, Gelsenkirchen out of your mind here. Think about Moscow, think about Guimarães, have positive thoughts. What a way this will be to win it. First up it's Berardi, and he sends Pickford the wrong way, and Harry Kane will go first for England. The only European Championship final to require a shootout previously came back in 1976. Such a famous penalty shootout that the man who scored the winning goal is remembered to this day. You can't visualise him, but the name Panenka is in football lexicon and always will be. That cheeky little chip penalty.
Top quality penalty by the Italians.
Harry Kane has missed 3 of his 13 for England. Stands right-footed, smokes it into the bottom left-hand corner. Donnarumma went the right way, but he's beaten for pace. It's 1-1 after one apiece.
Yeah, whipping it across his body, pace, power, placement. The perfect penalty. 1-1, all to play for.
Next up, it's Belotti, who came off the bench as well. And he strides forward, he's picked up the silver ball and he spots it down now. 1, 2, 3 steps and a hop and a skip and another one back. And Pickford claps, trying to get the fans behind him. He jumps up and down. The bar just ricochets for a moment after he touches him. Pickford bobbing up and down on his line. It's Belotti against Pickford. Saved by Jordan Pickford, diving away to his left-hand side. What an historic moment that could prove to be. Struck with force, great anticipation, not into the corner, and Pickford has just made an enormous save.
It was a top quality save, make no mistake. He's been filled with information about the takers. There is no doubt in my mind about that. Wonderful stop.
We need Harry Maguire to give England the advantage to compound that penalty save from Pickford. Maguire stands on the edge of the penalty area, 1 foot on the line, 1 foot in the box. Little tiptoe run, right-footed, great penalty in the top right-hand corner. And after 2 penalties apiece, it is Italy 1, England 2.
I've got to say, Maguire has been magnificent tonight. Irrelevant to that ball hitting the back of the net, his performance has been absolutely outstanding. Well done, Harry.
Fantastic.
Gareth Southgate, with his right arm around the shoulders of Stevie Holland, just allowed himself a little fist pump there. Well, Bonucci in the 2012 quarterfinals scored against Germany, but then missed his penalty in the shootout. They scored against England tonight. But will history repeat itself? Pickford trying to go through the same routine. Almost a touch of the Bruce Grobbelaar spaghetti legs about it. Bonucci has got it past him. If anything, Pickford dived past it. Bonucci puts it into the net. And it's 2 apiece, but England have got a penalty in hand that Marcus Rashford is going to step forward to take.
Really unfortunate there, looking at the replay there. Pickford's gone to his right and he's gone down too soon, and he's just reached up that big left hand but just didn't have enough strength on it. And here is one of these penalty substitutes. Rashford, as we thought.
What an 18 months Marcus Rashford has had on and off the field. Fantastic ambassador. But it's down to the bread and butter now of being able to beat Donnarumma from 12 yards. Rashford runs up, oh, he's stopped, and now he hits it right foot. Oh, he's hit it into the post, and it's gone wide. And he committed Donnarumma, he done all the hard work, and the goalkeeper made his move, and Rashford tried to roll it past him, and has rolled it into the post. And it's 2-2 after 3 penalties each.
Yeah, as I say, he done all the kidology and then just put too much whip on the ball. We're still in a situation, it's even Stevens, Jim.
After Berardi and Belotti, Bonucci and now Bernardeschi for Italy. And he has spotted the ball down with real purpose, and Pickford again comes off his line. Just making Bernardeschi wait. We're back to square one. Bernardeschi, left footed! Down the middle as Pickford dived to his right. And Italy have the advantage, only in so much as the fact that they've taken more penalties than England. Jadon Sancho is going to be next up for England to tie it up at 3-3.
Yeah, I hope we haven't turned down a wonderful opportunity there with that missed penalty. Sancho once again, a penalty substitute, and the situation is, you just wonder whether they've got up to sort of game scenario, match tempo, and all of those type of things go through your head. But certainly statistically they'll be the better ones.
Jadon Sancho then right-footed, saved by Donnarumma, diving away to his left, and England are on the brink, the very, very brink of elimination. 2 missed penalties in a row. The 2 players who were brought off the bench deep at the end of the game specifically to take these penalties, and both have missed. One's hit the post, the other has been saved, and it's going to be Jorginho to try and win it for Italy. England have to draw on everything. Jordan Pickford will have prepared for this moment all his life. From being dragged around so many goalkeeping sessions as a young man in his native Tyne and Weir, it's all been for this moment. He has to save from Jorginho. He bobs up and down on his line. Jorginho, he saved it! He saved it! He's to win it here. England are still in it. Jordan Pickford has kept England in the European Championship final. But what a pressure moment this is now for Bukayo Saka. Penalty number 5 for England. He has to score. Saka against Donnarumma on the left foot in. And it has been saved. It just isn't meant to be. England despairing, defeated, and on penalties yet again. It's Italian glory. It's England heartbreak. 25 years on from a penalty shootout that none of us will ever forget. We've just witnessed another. Jordan Pickford's heroics counting for nothing as 3 successive England players fail in the shootout. A tournament that brought England further than they've been in half a century, to the brink of success, but only the brink. As close as they could have come, but it's not meant to be. Undoubtedly England have made progress, they've made memories. A smattering can boast of Rome as the 3 Lions headed off Ukraine. We'll always have the famous Wembley nights, looking Germany out to a rapturous reception. The lose-your-head ecstasy of beating Denmark to reach the final that for so many England fans brought uncharted waters. But the final hurdle has proved an eighth of an inch too high. How different though to the past. This time they exit not to house the derision, to Icelandic set pieces and muddled thinking. They leave to a stunned Wembley who cannot believe that the dreaded spectre of penalties has struck yet again. Qatar, of course, does lie around the corner, but for now, whilst chins are up and heads are held high, the wait continues and continues yet more. England off to the perfect start, but not the perfect finish. And it's Italy who celebrate, with England players on their knees and the fans filing out in stunned silence. Italy won, England won after extra time. Italy win it 3-2 on penalties and are European champions.